David Wright from Survivor Millennials vs. Gen X, and this is Survivor Talk with Dwaine and David. Whatever generation you're from, these guys are worth listening to.
Welcome to Survivor Talk with D&D. We are just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. My name is Dwaine, and I'm here with my meat-eating best friend, David. Hello, David.
But I've never had goat. Please say I've never had goat.
He's never had goat. I didn't quite hear that, but I think he said he's never had goat.
Uh-oh. Are we starting bad again?
Yeah. Did you restart your computer?
Yes, sir, I did.
Well, then you need to call Vios and tell them their internet is not working very well. Second week in a row.
Was I good before we went live?
Pretty good. So, David, would you please do the honors of introducing our amazing guest who really needs to be on the screen a whole lot more than we are because she's just beautiful. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I think you just did.
No, I didn't. I didn't say who it was.
This is our friend from Gen X versus Millennials, or Millennials versus Gen X, whatever you want to call it. This is Sunday Burquest.
Hello.
Hello, Sunday.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How about you?
I'm fabulous, and I have eaten goat, just so you know.
Wow. That was one of those deleted scenes that they didn't show us.
Exactly.
Right.
Not exactly in Fiji, though.
Oh, okay. Wow, you have had goat. Does it taste like chicken?
No.
Well, everybody says, everything tastes like chicken.
Yeah, no. It doesn't taste like chicken.
Was it good? Did you like it?
No, it wasn't good at all. I had to eat a bite because I was on a mission trip in Africa, and then I pawned it off on the guy next to me, and I snuck it in his bowl so I wouldn't have to eat the rest of it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you kind of got to eat whatever they put in front of you,
Yeah.
Otherwise you offend them, and then they make a voodoo doll and poke you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was thinking, David and Sunday, I was really giving this some thought today. And I was just wondering, how long do you think it will take before we get enough information and insight from our guest Sunday? David, how long do you think it will take?
7 days.
7 days. How about you, Sunday? Hopefully not 7 days.
No. You want to get inside
on the seventh day.
On the seventh day. God rested.
Yeah.
No.
Well, no matter how long it takes, this is my thought. We're not going to stop until we get enough.
There we go.
That little clip took me 40 minutes, dadgummit, which is why I was almost late tonight.
You're such a Gen Xer. You should have had a millennial do it for you.
Oh my gosh.
Millennial do it.
That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different clips from that song.
Don't you have kids at home? Oh.
Wow.
That's what kids are for, Dwaine.
No, you don't understand. They'd be like, can't stop till you get enough. So Sunday, later on in the show, I don't know if those of you who are watching or listening, I just wrote a huge long post and put it all over Facebook about Sunday, which because I was just so amazed by her story whenever she sent it to me that I wanted to share it. And so so you can go out there and find it. It's on our Facebook group and also on my page. And I think Sunday, did you repost it in your feed?
I did.
Okay, so it's on Sunday's feed. It's all over the internet.
Everywhere.
So Sunday, later on, every time I call your name, I'm thinking I need to sing Sunday Bloody Sunday. All right.
Oh, no. You have to fight Brett for that.
Okay. Would you like to share some of your story at the end of the show?
I would love to.
All right. So if y'all are tuning in for Sunday's story, come back in about 2.5 hours.
No, just stay. Just stay.
Yeah, just stay. So thank you, everybody, for tuning into our show. Some of you are listening, and some of you are watching later in your car, at work. Well, hopefully you're not watching in your car or at work. Washing dishes, taking a shower, and whatever else you do with D&D. And all the rest are watching us live and chatting in the D&D chat room about whatever they want, and sometimes about the show. Sometimes. We're a family-friendly podcast with amazing fans and occasionally amazing guests. David, will tonight be one of those nights?
My prediction is yes. It will be one of those nights.
Sunday, you have to rise to the occasion and be an amazing guest.
Hey, no problem there.
That's right. I love hearing her say, no, I can't do it.
No.
I love your accent. I feel like I'm
I don't
Maine.
have an accent. I don't have an accent.
Oh, of course you don't.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, wow. If you'd like to help support the podcast financially, go to stwdd.com/support and select the giving option that is best for you. Now, during our feedback segment later in the show, Sunday is going to help us. Sunday, we don't just read feedback and just let it go. We dissect it, discuss it, and we just have fun with it. So we're going to talk about what some of you thought about the episodes. Are you looking forward to dissecting some of this feedback Sunday?
I am. That's going to be my favorite part, I think.
Yeah. Feel free to just let them have it.
Oh, I will.
If they write into this show, they are giving us permission to let them have it.
Okay.
We've actually had a couple people go, I'm going to stop giving feedback because every time I give feedback, y'all talk about it. Yeah.
Is that not the point of feedback?
Well, I don't know. So
We created our own show so we could have the last word. So that's why
that's right.
Well, yeah.
So it's time for David, me, and Sunday to share what we thought about Survivor Jackpot, Episode 3 of Survivor Game Changers. I bet Sunday's tired of hearing that because she was on the island for so long and they played it all the time before challenges.
Every time she walked in and out.
Yeah. Every time a cameraman would come up, he'd have the little thing.
I cannot tell you how weird it was to not have any music at Tribal. It's so weird.
It's like, where are the drums?
Yeah, it's so weird the first time you're there. It's weird, you guys. It's weird.
How many takes does it take for Probst to say, come on in, guys?
There are no takes. No
just once?
takes.
Just
No
once
takes.
every time? Oh,
No such thing as a take in Survivor.
That's
Come
right,
on,
man.
David.
That's right. Well, during our recap and discussion and feedback, as well as on our Facebook page, you need to pay attention to this. This is the only time I'm going to say it. During our recap, discussion, and feedback on this episode, on this show, and from here forward, as well as on our Facebook page, our Facebook group. I can't believe I said page, David. We will be including episode 4 discussion. It's all free game, all free to discuss on the show and on our Facebook group. So have fun. If you don't want to hear about episode 4, then don't get on our Facebook group.
And just so you know, this discussion is based on Next Week On and anything CBS puts out and any guests and speculation that we want to come up with. So there's no spoilers. There's no information we receive from anybody. It's all based on what CBS has put out and what we are guessing is going to happen.
Nice. Hello to our chat room. Sunday, are you in the chat room by any chance?
Well, I see the chat, but I don't see anyone chatting.
Wait,
Are people chatting?
are you talking about on YouTube?
I don't know. Oh, no. I'm not on the YouTube one. I'm in the Google Hangouts. How do I look in the...
No. The
Go
chat,
to YouTube?
The chat, if you have a separate window, you can go chatwing.com/STWDD.
Oh, that deal.
Yeah, there'll be people in there.
She was in there last year.
Chatwing.com what?
/STWDD. It's our show.
On the hat right here.
It's on his hat.
There you go.
David, that says SSWD.
Shh.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so you can join in, and they're all going to try to control the show. Just don't let them. They'll try to distract us. Don't let them.
Don't do it. Okay.
All right, here we go, guys. It's Survivor 34, Episode 3, Survivor Jackpot. Who said that? Who? Wasn't Sandra, because she didn't say hardly anything except kill a goat.
It had to have been either Varner or Malcolm because they were the ones talking about how great their new setup was. Yeah. So I'm guessing it's one of them.
Well, now, David, you have all the points and everything, right? Printed up for the end of the show? Well, you need to while we're talking about something else. Please get them printed up. All right. My initial thought. One of my initial thoughts. I have two initial thoughts. Sunday, did you have any initial thoughts? I know you listen to our show, so you know we're going to do it. Tell us one of yours. Tell us one of yours.
Why is everyone so afraid of Sandra?
Oh, that's one of mine. Go ahead.
And I'm really impressed by Brad Culpepper.
So was I. Oh, I cannot wait to talk about both of those.
Yeah, those are the two that stood out to me.
Yes, yes, I realize initial thoughts tease this stuff for later on, but it's really hard because I want to talk about it now, but we're not going to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Brad was very impressive. And Sandra, I got my own little thought on that. David, you want me to go ahead and do mine while you're printing up that stuff?
Sure.
Okay. Why does everyone want Ty around? I don't understand. Because if you're not the last person to talk to him, you're screwed. Sorry. You're messed up.
Yes. Totally.
Am I wrong?
agree. No, you're not wrong at all.
I disagree. I want Ty around so I can manipulate him because he is I'm sorry, Ty, but you are not a good Survivor player.
Well, no, he's not a good Survivor player.
I know. That's why I want him there so I can manipulate him. Because as soon as he's on this next season, he is going to be hounded immediately by the other players to take control of and use and say, hey, go talk to so-and-so and see what they think about me.
Yeah, but if you're not the last one to get dibs on them, then really you don't have them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You never know. He could have them for 10 minutes, but someone else gets to him. So you really never know if you actually have them. Because if someone comes by with a better idea, he's going to go with it.
Yep. Especially
I think it's yeah.
Go ahead, David.
The first person, if he's on the first person tribe with, if he's on your tribe originally, then you have a better shot of getting him. Otherwise, it fell into.
Wait.
What?
He was like buddies with Caleb, and he ended up voting Caleb off because Brad talked to him last.
He voted Caleb off because he got with his original alliance. Caleb was not in his original alliance.
Okay. Sunday, the actual Survivor player, and myself disagree with you.
That's just me as a player.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you're disagreeing about, but I forget what the original topic was.
Well, the original question was, why would you keep Ty around? Because if you, unless he's sitting on your lap on the way to tribal council, then someone else got to him and you're done.
Yeah.
So, but anyway.
Wishy-washy. That's what I call it. Wishy-washy. I don't like wishy-washy.
Yeah. David, you got some initial thoughts?
I do. I think Caleb's stock went from high and Korong to next to nothing this season because this was the guy that I think Probst got teary-eyed when he left. Couldn't wait for this guy to come back. And then for his exit episode, all he gets are edits of him sitting there listening to other people.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain he tried to turn things around in his favor. And I even had a chance to read Josh Wigler's exit interview with Caleb about tribal council. What wasn't heard that was said. But my goodness, the poor guy got next to nothing. Again, I just have this feeling we're not.
No.
I mean, we're talking to an expert who knows about not getting a good edit. So
yeah.
Wait, you know one of those?
Everybody we talk to, Sunday. Everybody we talk to.
Yeah, everybody's got a bad edit.
Dan Foley liked his edit. That's the only one who liked his edit.
Funny.
Yeah, I had to do my own drum hit. There you go. All right. I have another one. David, I wrote you a message, by the way. The power of Sandra and her game was shown this week. I paused the show, even though I was running up to the deadline. I paused the show and looked at my wife and said, the fact that everyone in the tribe wants to kill a goat, does not want to kill a goat, and she does, and they tiptoe around her, tells confessionals about how they don't want to kill the goat, tell each other how they don't want to kill a goat, but tiptoe around Sandra, trying to appease her and make her happy and not make her mad. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Sandra wins this season. That just shows all of her power. 5 against 1, and yet they're all, how can we not make Sandra mad?
Yeah. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Obviously she's she's got something she's able to, control everybody with or something. Because I saw someone tweet something like, "Wow, they're even willing to make her an animal sacrifice." I laughed so hard.
Wow.
That was one of my thoughts too, because I wonder if it's an early game thing because Varner's to me is playing a much better game where he's sitting back more. He's not being as vocal. He's definitely not talking to somebody from another tribe. But they laughed. I think I mentioned on Facebook that they laughed last week when Tony said, "You guys are following like sheep to slaughter," and they laughed, which told me, okay, they get it. Yeah, they'll follow Sandra for now, but when they need to get rid of her, they can get rid of her. They're smart enough to know to get rid of her. But right now they're letting her be, and they're letting her be bossy. If she's speaking up, you know what? The last person that spoke against Sandra got voted out. First one to speak against Sandra, and we got a guy here, JT, who's not from our group. So let's let Sandra have her way. But you're right. So many times in this episode, it was pointed out that Sandra's in charge. Sandra's in this, and Sandra's taking the votes. Sandra's leading the discussion. I think there's a little bit of clout there. There's a little bit of respect there, but it almost has that Redemption Island feel where that Boston Rob had when he was out there, where he was kind of leading, not trying to lead, but actually leading. But to me, I think that's going to be her downfall at the same time. I think there's enough people out there that are cognitive of what's going on, and they're going to say, okay, enough's enough, and it's time to spread our wings and get away from Saunders' lead. Or she's going to go after the wrong person, go after the idol, and the idol takes her out.
I think you should email Sandra and tell her that you think that her game reminds you of Boston Rob's, and see what she does.
No.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm scared of her, and I'm not even there.
You're hiding behind the camera. No. Yeah, that's funny.
Hey, David, we can't talk bad about her on the show.
Hey, well, it's funny because last night we got home from choir, and I was in a really good mood. It was a great night. I had a great day. And then I was like, you know what, honey, let's watch TV. Let's watch a show together. And then I'll just watch Survivor later because I was off today, so I could stay up late. I said, I don't have to watch it right now because we don't have a lot of TV time together during the week because of soccer and everything else. So we watched a show. We finished it. We watched something else. It got to be like 10:30. And she said, and she's laying there with a blanket in her chair. And I said, can I watch Survivor now? She said, yeah. It's nice to ask your wife permission every once in a while. But so I asked her if I could watch it. She said, go ahead. And Sandra came on right away. It was the clip previously on. She goes, you can be the king until the queen shows up. And Terry goes, I like that. I like that, Sarah. I'm like, I bet you do. And then they showed her again, and Terry goes, why does she look familiar? I said, because you met her at Best Buy. Oh, that's the lady we met at Best Buy. I said, yes, honey. And then about 10 minutes later, she was asleep. So she didn't see any more of the episode. But otherwise, she remembered Sandra, but she loved Sandra saying about being the queen showing up.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a setup. Maybe the producers, the edit's just setting us up. They want to show us over and over how in charge she is.
Maybe.
So that when there's a fall, it's more epic.
Well, they definitely showed her and Tony. I mean, that was a big theme.
Yeah.
And to me, it was a really good theme. I thought it played out really well, and I enjoyed it. I want to see both of them play. I felt bad for Tony because
I did too.
He just didn't learn quickly enough. Well, we talked about it last episode, but so we won't rehash it. But anyway, so they start. David, you got anything else? Any other initial thoughts?
No, I like Brad as well. I agree with you on that one. But no, it was the Sandra thing. That was my other one.
All right. So we open up with a tribe mix, not even at the camps, not even the night after the vote off, which we normally get. It was right into the swap, into the tribe mix up. It's from 2 to 3, but they didn't tell them. And the whole what's happening. Now, David, last week we were talking. I don't know if you or some of our feedback or somebody was saying that perhaps part of the reason why Malcolm played the way he did or others played the way they did was because they're very smart Survivor, very savvy, and they figured out and knew that a tribe swap was coming to go to 3 next episode or next couple of days. Mm-hmm. They didn't act like that tonight. I mean, did they just not show us that? Or what do you think? Either one of you.
I think, well, I wanted to ask Sunday, was anybody at your camp could happen the next time we show up in front of Probst? Was there anybody, who was the pot stirrer at your camp that talked about that kind of stuff?
I don't know that it was one person, but we were expecting a swap. So the day that we got there for the swap, we thought was going to be a swap. we wouldn't have thought 3 tribes, I don't think, but we were expecting a swap. So I thought it was interesting that when they asked last night, Zeke right away said, we're having a swap. And I just thought, how did he think that so early on in the game? And, but, you know, clearly they were expecting it. I don't know how they expected it that early, though.
Yeah,
because I mean, Zeke. Go ahead, David.
I don't know. I think with a season like this, basically it's an all-star season, that they're going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at these guys, and they are going to try and test them and push them, make idols harder, you know, to find, make it more of a challenge. You can't just find an idol; you've got to find a then you got to risk your game to find an idol, you know. But I don't think they want them to get set, and I hate to say this, but I think they're afraid of pregame alliances, and they want to break them up as much as possible. And I think that, I don't know if that necessarily had to do with it happening so quick, but with one tribe going down 2 immediately, swap, because it makes people work harder. I love the premiere of those 2 hours because there was so much social game going on, trying to build, and we got the tension between Suri and Ozzy, and this whole coin flip of a swap. Very bad for some people, including Caleb. Caleb got the raw end of the deal on that. Not only did he get in the minority, he got stuck with Ty, which was bad. And then, but like in your situation, it was just you and Brett, right? You and 4 millennials. So how that feeling? Because we haven't talked to you on the air about that. What was that feeling for you when you realized, oh my goodness?
Yeah, it was like, oh crap. First it was, oh crap. And second it was, at least I have Brett.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be stuck with one person and only 2 of us, you know, 2 to 4, I'm glad it was Brett. In my mind, though, I was expecting, I feel like I was going to do good with millennials. So to me, I didn't feel like we're done for. I was like, okay, this is my shot to put one of what I felt like was my strength in the game to the test, and to really work my way in with those millennials, and I did.
Yeah. Plus, you had the strongest male in Jay, and then you had the strongest female, Michaela. We're going to win challenges and not necessarily be in trouble.
Well, that was the goal for sure, and we were doing really well. I mean, you know, I just thought it was interesting because there was an interview where one person had said, oh, they had carried our entire tribe and they were the only reason that we won. And, you know, I'm not, you know, the top of the athletic people or anything, but we had more than one person that did well in our tribe for the challenges.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
So how crazy did it get at that reward where y'all were all at the pool and everybody got like drunk off their gourd? Because you were probably just watching them going, oh, I'm so glad I'm not drunk off my gourd. Yeah.
They weren't, I mean, first of all, there wasn't as much alcohol in those drinks as someone would have thought. They weren't probably as strong as, you know, some places probably use a little bit less to save, you know. And so they didn't seem way out of it to me. Brett's just gets really loud and funny.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know, and they don't show any of it, but they kept like, come on, Sunday, you know, and finally it's like, you guys, I'm not in high school. Like,
that's right.
You can't peer pressure me into it. It's fine. Go ahead. But I just don't, you know, I'm just not gonna, or whatever, you know, so it was, you know, it's fine.
All right, let's get back to this. They go from 2 to 3. I love this. I love the way, and the way it played out in this episode was exactly what I loved about what I love about it, because it totally changes the game, totally creates new dynamics in every single tribe. It's like Cerise said, I was at the bottom and now she's feeling good, you know? And then you got people who were not doing bad that now are like Troyzan's now all by himself. You know, I just really love it when they go from 2 to 3 and they do it this early. I really like it.
Issue, and this is probably more me, and our chat room is already talking about it. Mike K said, I think just about everyone knew that they were going from to 3, but no one wanted to speak up. And I understand that. So they let Zeke
that's
chime
what he's
in.
thinking. Okay.
So, yeah. And I kind of wish sometimes that Probst wouldn't talk as much as he does. Last week, I went into detail as to why I hated that he called And I'm glad Varner shot back at him because he labeled him. And that, like I said, that gave that tribe a reason to vote Varner out if they had lost. And this week, he basically said, I would rather listen to Troyzan give an immediate confessional as to how he feels. Then Probst say, so Troyzan, it's 5 against 1. You're all by yourself. What are you going to do? So I've got and Troyzan's like, I need an answer. Okay. You just got to find the silver lining. And I was waiting for Probst to say, you mean like find an idol? I'm like, let him go play the game. Troyzan's got a lot of work to do now, especially go find an idol. And I thought of course, he's a friend of ours, so I'm hard to find that idol. And then Caleb and Haley, what are you going to do? And Caleb might as well said, well, I've never even spoke to Haley, so I don't know what we're going to do with her, but hopefully I can fit in. But now I'm stuck with Ty again. That's not great. And Probst is pointing all this out for those, in case you don't see it. This is the situation. JT, you're all by yourself. You're an easy vote out. What are you going to do? I don't know. To me, it's a little overkill. And I know it's stuff that they want us to hear and contemplate on, but we see this, so we know. But I don't know, to me, it was just a little much. And I kind of wish we'd have just gone back to camp and got our confessionals.
Well,
I'll get off my soapbox now.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say
what soapbox. Yeah.
Yeah. What I was going to say is what I loved was Michaela. Remember who she looked at? Someone that got the new tribe, the new green.
Troyzan.
And she said, yeah, hey, you got to start all over.
Yes.
Right? With a smile.
I love Michaela.
Yeah. Meaning I don't have to. Because if you remember on our swap, when she drew green, she threw her buff on the ground and told Jeff, you got this wrong, Jeff, because she was so mad we had to start over.
Yeah.
So she said that last night. I laughed so hard.
Yes. Back to David's point, David, I agree. We don't need to really. It's one of those stupid questions. Really. I don't want to know that. Go ahead. Point out, JT, you're by the da. Okay. Y'all go do your thing because even the answers, David, they're like, it's like after a football game and they ask the running back how he felt about the third play. And he's like, man, we just play as a team and we're just kind of, looking for next week. Same answer every time, right?
Yes. Oh,
Same with this. Same with this.
It's like asking a team in the playoffs, is this game a must-win game? Every game is a must-win game.
Yes.
Brian Regan, the comedian, does a great bit on that. He's like, he doesn't understand why people ask questions that they do. But you're right. He's asking obvious questions. And you're right. It was kind of textbook answers. JT, how you feel? Well, sometimes it turns around good. Okay, who's next?
Yeah. Probst is like, don't you want to say something about you can beat Sandra? Come on, say something about it. All right, so we have our new tribes, and we don't have to go over them because y'all watch the show and you know what the new tribes are. We got a couple odd ones out, 1 and 1 odd one out. Boy, I would not want to be the odd one out. Wow.
Hello.
What are you listening to, David?
That's me, sorry.
Not me.
Sunday's watching the Americans.
No,
she's got bored, so she's watching some other TV show.
Yeah.
I tried to share the link on Facebook so people could tune in. Sorry about
watching
that.
some other, podcast right now.
She's watching us and going, wow, these guys are actually interesting. You guys aren't that interesting. Oh, it's the same people. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
No, I'm sharing it on my Facebook page.
All right. So, that's awesome. I'm glad you're doing that. So,
and I love JP. I mean, JP, I wrote his initials. Probst goes, he finishes that group before he sends them off and says, all of you know, you're all smart now. All of you know that at this point, anything can happen. Yes, we know. Why are you doing this? I don't understand.
Well, he gets paid a lot of money and he needs to earn it. I think he gets $100,000 per word. So,
I'm sorry. I need to get off my Probst hate soapbox.
Yeah. So much for CBS ever acknowledging that we exist, David. Yeah. I'm gonna go. Probst, what about that show? Survivor Talk with the D&D? Yeah, I hate them. That David guy. He talks too much about me talking too much.
Okay, I'm done for now. I might talk more later.
Nuku, day 7. Yeah, we're going right along. 40 minutes into the show. It's like a resort compared to the Mana tribe. Am I right?
This was what I'm sorry. This was one of my initial thoughts that I wrote and I didn't even read because I got mixed up. Trade chickens. That was one of my initial thoughts. I got trade
ropes.
No.
All the chickens looked up and went, "Where's Ty? We might want to move."
Yeah. Where's all of our food? We are eating better than a human.
Yeah.
Where's our
Yeah. So like they all gather around to eat, and the chickens are like my dog, with his arm going like that to me. The chickens are going, and they're going, "Get out of here!" Oh man.
Oh.
But it's decorated. There's chickens all around. It's a really good looking shelter. It's et cetera. And we're going to find out later that this was all Brad's doing. We'll talk about that later. But he's making his mark in the game.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
That's a comfortable place. Oh, I can't talk about that later. So we'll talk.
Yes. Okay.
All right, David, you want to talk about TJ talking about being a sitting duck and what his solution to that was?
No, but I will talk about
Who's
JT
TJ?
and being a
That's what I meant. Today's National Dyslexia Day, and I said JT. No, I actually wrote TJ in my notes. What an idiot.
I just loved this. Well, this was good. This goes back to the premiere. I'm sorry, I'll keep laughing in my head because we did it last week too.
Remember
I only called you
Vice President Quayle. He's like, "This is how they spell potato on my thing."
Autocorrect. That's right. They got off the boat last week. Looked on their faces when Tools, the chickens, and had all this stuff, and they were just like ready to go. They were upbeat. And then you looked at Manna, and they're like, "Okay, we didn't get the Tools, we didn't get the chickens, but we're fine. We're okay." And then Malcolm comes over, and the first thing he says is like, "Now I see why this tribe is doing so well. I mean, look at this place. They've not only built up with their chickens what they haven't even eaten yet. Thank you for not eating the chickens, but they have the toolkits, and they have this resort. This is not a camp. This is like a Survivor spa, and this is it's a mentality, and you can probably attest to it, Sunday, that when you're almost comfortable, you're going to be in a better physical state and mental state, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Any of the littlest thing that makes you feel normal or makes you feel like you're not a complete barbarian just helps you mentally, emotionally, all of it, all the way around. And just if you just think about the aspect of being in a better mood, just that alone helps you and helps your tribe with your unity too, and how you're working together.
Yeah, I can imagine being out there for like at least 3 weeks, getting ready to get to a challenge. But before you get to the challenge, you get to read a letter from home, and the whole mood that changes before you go out to that challenge. And going back to this camp, it's not like you're going back to a washed up camp with a shelter that's got holes in it and there's snakes everywhere. You're going back to a camp where there's balls and trees, and there's chickens walking around just waiting to lay eggs, and you can just grab one at any minute and have KFC, and the mood thing. But it's neat. But I like. Can we call him TJ? Or I like JT's comment where he he says, "I was okay with the swap until you 5 came over, and I'm kind of on the outside now."
That was funny. Yeah. Yeah, I just spent the last 2 minutes going through my document and changing all
the TJs.
Yeah. And what's interesting is a couple episodes ago, we had somebody tell me that obviously because I kept mispronouncing Cerie's name that I didn't like her. So apparently I don't like JT either.
I don't
pronounce everybody's name. If Sunday wasn't a day of the week, I would not be able to make it.
Sundai. There you go, Sundai.
What?
Oh my gosh.
So JT takes him on a what, David? What?
No, go ahead.
JT takes him. What a great idea, right?
Totally.
Get him on the raft.
Brilliant.
Take him out a half a mile.
Yeah.
Don't bring the pliers on purpose. Accidentally break the spear. Like, here, Malcolm, throw it at that fish. Oh, it was a rock. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was a big rock. Yeah.
Yeah. And JT makes his move. And swims back a half a mile. And they're all sitting there going, I love it. Malcolm's like, well, you might want to go snorkeling. How about we worry about JT?
Yeah. Their first thought is, Varner's like, I feel like we've hijacked this camp for the day. This is great. And now JT's over there. We can talk about it. We can do whatever we want. And all of a sudden, wait a minute, JT's over there.
It's like, wait, why is JT in my bag?
Doesn't he know where the pliers are? They're not in my bag. They're not in that tree. Why is he looking in the tree for pliers?
He thinks CBS hid the pliers.
Oh my gosh.
So that's the great thing is now they don't know. You know, because this is TJ. Oh gosh, this is JT's camp.
Now you're doing it.
My notes are right too. This is JT's camp, and they're speculating that he might know where the idol is. This, that, and the other. Go ahead, Dwaine. I know you want to say something.
No, I was just going to go TJ.
So but this could work in his favor, you know, next week, obviously, because we already know that he's not gone yet. But why did they all go out on the raft? Because they went on a joint fishing trip. That's why they all went out on the raft, just to go out. And they got out there, and apparently their water is not as nice as Nuku's water because they were just in awe of all the fish and all the beautiful rocks out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed was I think because they're returning players, they handled it a lot differently than new players in the fact that they were like, well, we know what he's doing, right? They're all just kind of chuckling. Well, whatever. He stuck us out here. He's brilliant. He knows what he's doing. Where I feel like a new season, the players would be more like, well, we got to go catch him. What's he doing? You know, more of a paranoid mad, where the second time players are like, well, we know what he's up to. Right? It was just a different, I felt like, approach and a different way to look at it. And there was a difference to me in returning players.
That's what I like about this season is that we're getting blunt responses. We're getting honest responses from people because, we know what he's doing. We know where he's going. And just like with Troyzan, somebody's got to keep an eye on Troyzan. Can't let him go too far because he's by himself. And it's neat that way. Now, which camp, we talked about this earlier, which tribe is at your camp that you were at?
Okay. We were where Mono was first. Is that where they went back to? Same place, the Mono tribe.
Yeah, Mono went back to Mana. Nuku went back to Nuku.
That was our tribe. That was the Gen X speech originally.
Oh, that's right, because you taught me about the tree that Malcolm and Caleb were sitting on. Paul used to sit on the tree.
Yes. It's so weird to watch, you guys. I can't even handle it. It's like someone moved into our house.
Yeah. We heard that last season, too. I don't remember who we were talking to, but they were like, yeah, that was our camp.
Yeah,
anyway.
It's so weird.
So I like one thing I noticed, and I know they edited a lot out, but still, this is what they showed us. That Varner's talking about it doesn't matter. We have the numbers 5-1. He's the next one going home. And I'm thinking, we don't know what Sandra thinks, so maybe not. She hasn't said a word. She's just sitting there listening and smiling.
But also, what if he finds an idol? Then he's not the next one to go home.
Yeah. Sandra's thinking if he found an idol, then he's on my team.
That's right.
He becomes a squire to the queen.
Sometimes that's dangerous, though, because the minute you see someone saying so-and-so is going home, it means they're going home.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I wonder if JT looked everywhere for that idol or the clue, which he didn't know what he was looking for, but it was on the beach like it was for Troyzan. And the one place he couldn't look was on the beach because he didn't want to be obvious about what he was doing.
Yeah. The guys on the raft come up. Oh, we just broke a bottle. So before we get to the other camp, Monarch camp, I have a question for you, Sunday. What all can you take from someone's bag? What are you allowed to take from someone's bag? And what are you not allowed? Or maybe what are you not allowed to take?
We were not allowed to go in people's bags.
Well, JT did.
I know. And I don't know if that's a returning player rule, but for us, we were not allowed to go in someone else's bag. And nobody did it.
Huh. Well, they do treat.
I get in trouble. Yeah, just do it till I get away with it.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Well, they were
right there.
They were very clear about it. They said it was stealing, and that wasn't going to be. We weren't allowed to do it.
Well, I wonder why they let him do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they changed. Did they change the rules for returning season because it's been done in the past?
I know what it is.
I know what it is too. Go ahead.
What?
Returning players are given an advantage. For example, whenever, what was her name, David? Sherry Beatman, whatever. Whenever she played, she was a new player, so she couldn't talk to the producers. But Dawn could. She called him Bob, had a great relationship with them, but she wasn't allowed to.
That's always there. It's a curve. It's a returning player's curve.
Forget it.
Yeah. Plus, you know what? If I go back, I know now.
Yes.
Like, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
Right? So when you go back, you know. But you didn't know. So now you know.
I'll tell you what it was. JT checked his own bag to see if TJ found an idol and put it in there for him.
Oh, gosh. We need to get to Mana.
Mana.
By the way, y'all, next time I say something and it's not funny or anything, at least chuckle.
Was that a joke?
Yeah.
I thought you were being serious.
No, it wasn't being serious. Remember, Sherry Wilson was like, she was all upset because they were told you're not allowed to talk to the cameraman. And then they would get up and Dawn Meehan was like, hey, Bob, did you stuff like that. And Sherry was all upset about it. You don't remember that?
I do. I must not have heard of what you said.
I don't remember that.
Mana Day 7. Well, listen to our interview with her. It's really kind of good because she's like, she saw the guy behind the curtain and she's done. So she talked about everything. It was great.
Oh.
All right, let's talk about Brad making the camp at home. His home.
I like Brad.
I do too.
I
It doesn't give anybody a reason to vote him out, you know?
Nope.
He's another player.
WWMD. I mean, come on. WWMD. Right. I loved it.
The only problem is he's not with Monica the chicken anymore. That's the only problem. But playing different in that he even said, I wrote down, he's having fun and we're up 4-2. And instead of just being up and alpha about it, he's still being group about it. He's still being tribe about it. He's including people. He's talking to people more. He's not as bossy, seems not as bossy. It's more of an inclusive thing now, which is good. And it's, to me, that's a learning curve that he's picked up from that. That's a much more improved Brad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everything we saw of Brad last night was so much better. Yeah. I mean, he's doing well with his tribe. I can't wait to talk about how he talked to Ty and how he got all that to work. And so, he's there, he's decorating, he's making the camp more comfortable. He's not being obnoxious. He's not being annoying. Everybody likes having him around. He's being soft spoken and way to go.
He's doing a good job. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I liked Caleb and Haley. We love y'all so much, and we're so glad we're not here, that we're here and not with our other tribe.
Yeah.
We love y'all.
Oh, yeah. If we're going to be in the minority, we're glad it's with you.
Yeah.
If somebody's going to vote us,
it's
y'all guys.
We all love each other. Remember that when we're voting. Haley's like, I'm easier to look at. Caleb's like, not if you're a girl, I'm easier to look at. Of course, Ty is already talking to his other tribe mates about keeping Caleb because he likes to look at Caleb.
And you know what? To me, that was the most crucial part of the episode for me, because what did Ty do? He offered up an alliance mate for an outsider.
Yeah,
I don't care about your relationship. He offered up and I'm sure Culpepper's like, wait a minute, just say, did you just offer somebody that's loyal to us for somebody that I've never met before, that I've never been that you actually played with before? Wow. That tells me a lot about you, Ty.
It also tells you he's not thinking straight in this game at all.
Right.
Him and Caleb and Debbie, that'd make a pretty good threesome.
Yeah.
Because they played together. And if they could get one of the others voted off, they've got the tribe. Yeah. So he's like, not only do I want to kick out one of our alliance members, I want to kick out somebody that could help me later in the game.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, Ty. Good thing you went over there with the goats. That would have been.
I love Brad says, but Debbie's loyal. Wants to work with us.
Yeah.
So, and I found out what?
Caleb just got here.
Yeah. And in Wiggler's interview, Caleb even says that when he got to that camp, he and Debbie never had one conversation. Whether that was planned or not, I don't know, but that tells me they're not in any kind of cahoots, getting back to co-wrong group.
Why wouldn't you at least try that? If you're Caleb.
See, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you'd think you come in on the bottom of the numbers, you try anything possible.
That's right.
Hey, we were on Kerrang. What about, all the, you know, I tried it with David and Ken. It didn't work.
Yeah. Look, we both have a tattoo. We could be alliance mates.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you think he went in saying, look, I'm big and strong. I'm beast mode cowboy. They're not going to vote me out. They want to win challenges. And I
didn't get that impression from him at all.
I didn't get any impression from him because we didn't hear anything from him.
Well,
true.
He
just
but
listened to people. I didn't really.
If he was that way, I think they would have made sure that we saw it, though. I think.
We got one where Ty talks about keeping Caleb staying strong for challenges, and then Ty says the same thing. We need to keep you because you're strong. Actually, I don't think Caleb had hardly anything lines. Somebody didn't write him into the script. He was out standing out there fishing and listening to a lot of people. That's what I didn't like about this episode for Caleb, and that we didn't get to see the other side of him. So how Ty plays.
So Debbie,
he must not have been talking then.
Yeah, maybe not.
I mean, if they didn't show anything, that obviously means he wasn't doing anything.
So right. Sunday, if you don't agree with David, and I happen to kind of hold the same thought that David did, was that it looks like Caleb kind of thought they're not going to vote me out. I'm the big strong guy. But you said you didn't get that vibe. So what vibe did you get from him?
I felt like what they showed was he was quiet. I felt like he was sitting back. I felt like he was depending on Ty. And I think he thought, I think he looked at it more like I can contribute for you guys as opposed to I'm the man. I just didn't see that. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just not how I read anything they showed. He seemed like he was kind of sitting back and like, hey guys, I'll help you. But I didn't feel like he came in like, hey, you need me. Until you get to tribal and there's a little bit of you got to stand up for yourself.
Right.
I just didn't feel like I was very impressed with him. I didn't feel like he came off. And, I didn't see the entire season because we left while it was airing.
Yeah.
But I didn't get that from him. That was just my read on it.
So like for me, I didn't think he went in there and was cocky. I was more like, he came in there and he was like, I don't have to worry about it, but not like he was being cocky to them, just kind of not really thinking that they were going to vote him out. So he's kind of playing laid back, not really making a huge effort because there was Haley, Yeah,
I could see that. He wasn't, because he didn't talk to Debbie.
Right. I mean,
like you always have to be shoring up as many options as you possibly can, making as many connections as possible. Right. So in that sense, I agree with you. He must have been just sitting back.
Yeah.
What do I would guide my thought towards what Dwaine just said. He didn't look worried.
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't get worried.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see that.
Yeah. And I agree with Brad. These three guys played together and it's just too risky. So
absolutely.
Anyway. So let's go to Tavua. Is it Tavua? Tavu?
Is that the new?
Tavu? Mm-hmm. Tavu?
Tavu is the new Ikabula.
Ikabula? Tavu? I'm going to go to Tavu Desa.
Troy's Ann takes a shot at fitting in by saying, I came from a chaotic tribe. Okay. So I really wasn't part of that group and they were crazy. We voted out 2 people.
Yeah. It's so cool. It's so cool because I watched him play in the Durham Warrior Survivor Challenge. Is it Survivor or Survival? Survival. The Durham Warriors Survival Challenge. And I got to, film people and stuff. And it's so cool because I recognize all those mannerisms that he does. He holds his arm like this, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. To me, it looked like they walked up to this clearing and look, CBS has raked us out of spot. Was that not the cleanest looking jungle floor you'd ever seen?
Yeah, I was looking for directions for how to build the shelter they laid out for them. That was pretty clear.
Yeah, here's all the cut bamboo. Here's all the palm fronds.
Was that a camp? Was that Ikabula's camp?
Ikabula camp was hell. And I'm not kidding. That was not Ikabula camp.
It wasn't Ikabula because that was one sharp-looking piece of land.
So they took them to Ikabula and they said, no. We're returnees. We're not going in this spot.
Exactly.
We better pick another spot. We want that clearing over there by the steps.
Exactly. They were not at Ikabula. Ikabula was horrible. I'm not kidding.
You know what it was? they walked up and there was the Ikabula, and they go, no, see where all those producers are sitting? That's where we want to go. And they cleared that out, and that's where they went, because that ground was spotless. There wasn't a leaf on it, a stick, nothing.
Yeah.
There were even signs that said post here.
Pre-dug holes. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that was.
So Sunday, what did you think about? I'll ask it to you this way. Although you weren't a returning player, but if Ozzy was on your tribe and you had just got swapped and you were all together, would you look to him to do that kind of stuff that he did at the water place, or how would that strike you? How did it strike you as you watched it?
Yeah, I would, because he's got the experience, and I feel like with someone like that, if you let them feel like they're in charge, you can get stuff done.
Yeah.
But you have to just always be aware that there's going to come a time, where you're only going to let him get so far. But I think you can get the most advantage, if you want to say, use him for his knowledge and wisdom by playing up to it. Like, well, you're the one that knows.
Right.
Stroking his ego a little bit and just like, how about you let us know? Then he automatically gets put in the leadership role, whether he wants it or not.
Right. I kind of like the way he handled it. Go ahead, David.
Yeah.
I did not like the way he did it, because it's old Ozzy. That's what Ozzy was before. He felt like he needed to prove that they needed to keep him. He's probably the greatest challenge person ever. He could be the best challenge competitor Survivor's ever had. He does not need to prove himself in any way possible. What he needs to do is keep building those relationships with Sari and with the other people. Keep those relationships. Don't feel like you have to step up and lead everyone because you're just putting a target on your back. They know how great you are already. You need to get in so they don't want to get rid of you later on. That's the only chance he's got, is to fit in and be a part of the group, not lead the group and show he's still the great and powerful Oz. He needs to stay fit in, not don't stand out any more than you already do, brother, because you already stand out. I just think it was doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing or that he's actually going to do it, but I hope he doesn't feel like that's his only way to get further in the game is to lead and help them survive.
But what if he felt like, if I don't do this, if I don't talk to them because no one else is doing anything, which we didn't see that, but what if that was the case? Yeah. No one else is doing anything, and if I don't do anything, then they're going to think I'm doing it on purpose, and I won't be part of the group. If I do this, I can be part of the group. There's that. Make sure you do it with others. I get you. I totally understand that side. I get your point, but make sure you do it with others. In fact, make sure you do it with everybody. Unlike what other people are doing where they're not being included with every single person, make sure you work with everyone on this and make sure everybody's included. But I don't know. Just that comment reminded me of old Ozzy. I got to make sure they have a reason to keep me, keep catching fish, keep supplying them with food. Yeah. But, no, keep relationships. Go back to Sari. I would love to see him and Sari patch it up and then pretend like they have it and still work together to go farther down the road. Yeah.
It looks like they were moving that direction. Finally.
Yeah.
But if you're another player around Ozzy and you can push him into that spot, it's better for you.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, you always want people looking at someone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So everything changes. Sari is now in a better place. She and Ozzy are actually talking, which makes Sari very happy and makes Ozzy like, crud, I got to change my way of playing.
Now see, Caleb and Ty getting put together was bad for Caleb. Sari and Ozzy getting put back together was great for us because we get to see this relationship still work and not work. So that was really good for me.
Yeah. Now this whole Troy, Zay, and Andrea
that was funny.
Andrea's like, well, I don't really know what's going on. People could have all kinds of stuff going on. And Troy Zan's like, I'm not an idiot.
I don't really know the relationships. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really part of the tribe. They don't even talk to me about stuff.
Andrea's looking around like, are we alone? I thought someone else was here to answer these questions.
Oh, that's bad. Oh, but Troy Zan, man.
But the funny thing is, when you're smart like Andrea, you can't hide it. And I think what Troy Zan, when he said she's not as clever as she thinks she is, I think what he meant was, I'm not as dumb as she thinks I am.
Right.
enough credit because I can completely read what she's feeding me right now.
Yeah.
And now she says, I'm going to head back now because I don't want to answer any more of your questions.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Troy's like, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
And I like what he said. I learned so much from the Durham Warriors Survival Challenge.
Oh, he was so close. He could have threw that in there.
He could have done it. He could have. Because that's the most recent game he played.
Yep.
Oh, well.
Maybe he did. You never know.
Yeah, he probably did. And CBS went, nope, go back.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Put the bottle back. Put the bottle down.
that happens so often because so many times people talk about, remember when we were listening to Survivor Talk with D&D and producer goes, no. I doubt
Probst
that's
does
ever
not
happened.
like that show. So, no, you
Yes.
can't talk about it.
Because of that David guy. No. Anyway, so he goes out looking for the idol. And, I really enjoyed seeing somebody who was like, crud, I just got put in the worst position I could possibly be put in on this tribe. Andrea's giving me the runaround. Nobody wants me around. I'm the first one to go. And to see the emotion of finding the idol in the clue or the clue, I loved it.
That was
too.
good. Yeah, that was good because I think when to see a conversation with somebody had happened to be with Andrea, and it had to feel for Torzan, wow, they've got me on lockdown. Nobody's going to talk to me. Nobody's going to share with me. I am so alone right now. I'm definitely done. Even Zeke said earlier that we don't have to be nice to Torzan because he's on the outs.
Yeah.
And then there's probably a bigger gap in time where it might have hit him that he was done for unless he found something. And then you could see it in his eyes how he was teary-eyed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was so great.
Yeah. That made me cry.
So Sunday, let me ask you this. You're one of the 5, and the odd one is out looking for stuff. And you're all sitting around the camp. I bet he's out looking for an idol. Why aren't you getting up?
I thought the same thing. Because even Sarah, she said, well, we shouldn't leave him alone. But then they all just stood there.
I'm not
And they left
going.
him alone.
That was my question. It's like, all right, whose turn is it? Because we're all right here.
Yeah. Just
Who's
like,
watching
we
Torzan?
really should leave him alone.
Yeah. What
That's all right,
happened
Bob,
to
the
the,
cameraman's
We're
watching.
just gonna all stay right here.
yeah. What happened to the seasons where, like somebody goes out to look for an idol and they're out there for like 6 hours because no one will leave them alone? Remember those?
Yeah.
It's like, would you just stop following me?
That was the great thing about the first, was it Brain, Brawn, and Beauty, when Spencer and them went out looking and Cass followed him and Tasha followed him, and they're all going out there looking for this, and they're just kind of waiting for nobody to grab them and
I love that.
see who grabs it.
Yeah.
But not
Yeah.
taboo. Taboo just lets him go.
That's a good idea.
Messing
Tomorrow
with the
we'll
wrong-
start following Troyzan tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow. It's fine. We got time.
Yeah. Troyzan's not going to find anything. And if he does, he'll stick him in those green things and we'll know it. Because those are some, David, remember he wore those the whole time.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I do remember, unfortunately.
But I mean, but you do wonder, in all seriousness, that's all he was wearing. I guess he just kind of hid it up in here in his hand or something.
Well, that was just a
because-
piece of paper. That was just the paper.
Yeah.
The idol, he had his cargo shorts
He had
on.
his shorts on at the challenge.
So he got the paper and he put it out and he like put it on his butt, right? And then he forgets about it and he sits down. They're all going, "What was that?"
Man, these shorts are really getting dry.
Yeah.
So,
That rice is really getting to me. Oh man.
well, coconut's a laxative, right? So anyway,
Yeah.
part of the clue, I love this. This is how much they want him to find it and use it and get it in the game. Is part of the clue says, "Let us tell you the best time for you to find this idol and take advantage." It says your best opportunity may just be after the challenge, when your tribe mates are either celebrating a victory or agonizing in defeat. Take advantage of this window to make your move. That's stupid. I mean, he does know that he's going to be watched. He's going to be seen if he doesn't do it right. But then, see, this is the honesty I love from this season. It says it'll be in the right rear corner. Torzan goes, "I just got to figure out which one is the right rear corner."
loved it.
I also like when he goes, Troyzan's back, I think.
He's such
But
a
I
likable
love this
person.
clue.
He's honest. Yes.
Yes, I loved it.
But what a long. So, like, did you like read the whole thing, David? Because it was like a book.
Yeah, I paused it and read it.
Man.
I wrote down that one section because it was like basically telling him how to get it, how to find it, where it was, and what time of the challenge to get it. You know, there was a lot to it.
We need more players like Kelly Wentworth, who they don't tell how to do it, and she finds it anyway.
She even borrowed somebody's shorts just to make sure she could carry it out of there.
That's right.
So.
All right, Nuku. Unless you got any more, David, you got any more?
Hmm.
All right. Sunday, you got anything else about that?
Not on that. Nope.
All right. Nuku, day 8. This is the day of the goat.
The goat.
Yes.
This is where all
nice Sunday.
that was good.
That's a good one, right?
You have eaten goat.
Yeah, that was the sound she made when she tasted it.
I'm channeling my inner goat.
Yeah.
That's my animal spirit.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is
Go ahead,
this
Dave.
is where all the initial reactions come from because the first line I wrote down is JT wants to feed Sandra
Yes.
because Sandra is the boss,
Yeah.
flat out.
Yep.
She's like walking around like Queen Victoria.
Yeah.
Which is a great show. My thought was CBS isn't going to let him eat it, but they sure will let him go all the way up to killing it. You know, they probably would not have let him kill it. I don't think. I think that was a rule they made after Scoopin destroyed that pig.
Yeah.
I think they got all kinds of like, how can you possibly let them do that? So I don't know if they would have let them kill the goat, but wouldn't it have been funny if they got all the way up to it and then production went, sorry, that was some really great footage, but you don't get to eat it.
Wow.
That would have been funny. We exerted all that energy to catch it. Yeah, we know it was good TV, but no, you're not killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting. All right. So, okay. So JT, right? JT? Yeah.
It's JT.
JT and Malcolm go after the goat. And when I saw the baby goat, I was like, no, guys, no.
Yes. Everybody in America said that.
I know. And when he picked up the goat and all you hear is, wah, wah, wah. And then the poor mama goat's over there going, I'll get you. Ah! I mean, it's horrible. It was horrible.
Well, they were slow goats. It had to be because the baby was there, because when we saw goats, they were not that slow.
Yeah, Malcolm made a good point to say the only reason we caught the big one was because it was the mom and it was not going to run away from the baby. He's like, yeah, that's the only reason we caught it. It stopped basically and turned around and I jumped on it. But he said, this is like the survivor Bambi. we can't kill these goats.
Yeah.
Totally,
Sandra's
it was
like-
Bambi.
Sandra's like, I'm hungry. So who's going to kill it? I'll help you skin it and de-hair it and take everything apart. But
Okay. Here's a little baby goat. Right? Sandra's
don't pet it. Don't pet it, Dwaine, because you're going to get attached to it.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Don't name it.
Sandra's holding the goat, right? And everybody wants to go pet it and everything. And Sandra's like, you better not get it. I'm going to eat that. We're going to be eating that. Don't you give him a name unless it's yummy.
It's licking her finger. Mama?
Yeah.
Mama?
I'll put my little
Oh
goat
my
up here. My goat does not want to be eaten. All right. Anyway,
I like Michaela. Michaela had a good line. She goes, Sandra doesn't care. She was a villain for a reason.
yeah, she was
I
villain
love
for a
that.
reason. That's right.
That's 2 weeks in a row. Last week we had Varner saying she won twice for a reason, and now this week Michaela saying she was a villain for a reason.
Yep.
So Sandra's getting a lot of attention the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So this is where I got my initial thought. No one wants to kill the goat, right? No one wants to kill the goat, but they're all taking it so slow, and it's all because of one person.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, if she wasn't there, they wouldn't have even chased him. But if she wasn't there, they'd all be going, y'all, seriously, we're not going to eat this goat. And they would have let it go.
Yeah.
But they really had to work it out so they appeased her.
I was expecting someone to say when they released it to turn to her and say, "Thank you, Sandra. I feel better now that we're not going to kill the goat." And Sandra
Thank you for granting us. What is it when a queen like
goathood?
Yeah. Thank you for allowing us to not kill that goat.
Pardon
A pardon.
She pardoned it.
Pardon, yeah.
It was funny though, because she was saying like, this has to be a majority, but I felt like she didn't really think it had to be a majority. She wanted everyone to agree with her to make it I don't think she expected everyone to say that we didn't want to kill the goat.
Right.
I don't think she expected that.
She's one of those that says, when I want your opinion, I'll give it to you. So,
yes.
And then we'll go from there.
Yeah, I mean, she was pretty much running that little circle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I don't care who kills it, but I will gut it. I will string its intestines on the tree. I'll do everything. I just want some goat.
She's hungry.
Oh, well.
That's Sandra.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they go after a goat. You know what probably happened? CBS probably put the goats there for some excitement.
That was my thought. I wondered if CBS said, if we bring the goats, can they kill them then?
Yeah.
If they're not territorial goats, can we brought them?
And then not only were there goats there were goat cutting knives laying by the tree. Right? Please chase the goat.
Oh man!
And then the goat had a tag on it.
Yeah, it said me
from Texas.
Yeah. Oops, we forgot to take off the petting zoo tag. Like the goat walks up to him. Kill me!
We got to chase the goats. No, they're coming up to us to be petted.
Yeah. All right, immunity challenge. Unless you got more to say about the goat, David.
No, sir.
All right.
No.
This immunity challenge was a good, solid challenge, but when you throw on the spice of a hidden idol, it just takes it to another level.
Exactly. I wrote that. So you go ahead and say it all. I like it.
This is a good challenge, but I really don't remember the challenge. All I remember is the looks on Troyzan's face every time he talks. And Troyzan's going, wait a minute, say that again. I was thinking about the idol that's somewhere over there in that challenge.
Yeah.
Troyzan going, right, rear, right. Okay.
Who's right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Can you say that again, Jeff? Because I was thinking about the right rear corner of that box over there.
Yeah. He raises his hand. Jeff, what would be the front of the box and the back? Do we need to start from the front of the box and go to the back? I know left to right, but is it front to back? And Jeff's like, it's right there.
Well, can I just walk around it one time by myself?
Yeah. Maybe I should make sure it's stable.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. This is why I like it. Oh, go ahead, David.
Well, I was going to say, everybody knows we're huge Durham Warrior Survival Challenge nuts because we love it. This challenge,
you're the nut about it. You're the nut.
I did. Well, you brought it up first. The first part of this challenge, Troyzan won.
Yep.
Challenge. Of course, this was a tied up rope where he got attached to, had to unwind it through these obstacles. And all I'm picturing is he's untying knots.
Yeah.
On you to get yourself up there.
Well, they hadn't seen it. No, but I turned to Connie and I said that exact thing is what he did at the DWSC. And that was wicked. So one thing I like is it's like David said, it really takes the challenge to another level. And I was trying to explain this last night to my wife. Not only do you have three tribes going against each other, but then you had this added thing of Troyzan playing with his tribe, but also trying to play against his tribe in that he's trying to fool them. And it adds a whole nother level to the challenge that just makes it so much more interesting. And like David said, more spice. Mm-hmm. Because they're playing for spices.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Was there ever, Sunday, in your season, any attempts did you ever notice or caught, or even yourself might have done, where there was like cross communication between tribes?
Yes.
With the heroes and villains, where JT was trying to give an idol to Russell and stuff like that. You remember that?
Oh yeah. We were talking when we did the challenge, when Figgy ended up going home, that Adam went along to vote out Figgy because Will and Jay and our Ikabula tribe told him to.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, not
so, but yeah. So we were saying to him, Figgy. And he's like, Figgy, why Figgy? And it was this mouthing back and forth. And so that was part of his decision why he did it, because he wanted to come back to us and the millennials to say, I did what you guys said.
So does production
was that
try
the
to
challenge
stop that, or is that?
Yeah, well, they didn't. We were hide. I mean, they didn't really I mean, they would if they saw us because we weren't supposed to be talking to each other. So, if, like on that challenge, I was sitting out, Adam was sitting out, and I can't remember who else was sitting out with me. I think it was me and Will, and we were not supposed to be talking to Adam.
Oh, you guys were on the sit-out bench. Oh, okay, not in the challenge.
Bench.
Gotcha.
But then at the end of the challenge, when they did, Hannah and Michaela were doing the puzzle or the rolling ball thing.
Mm-hmm.
That Michaela was yelling at her for. During that, they were talking to each other, and then when it ended, again was like they were telling Adam vote Figgy, which Brett and I didn't care. We didn't know. Whatever. It's like we'll go with you guys, whatever you guys want to do. So
yeah. See, this is the part of the challenges I wish we saw more of, because I know it goes on. These little moments where people are stealing looks or trying to steal glances. And we got it with Troyzan, and we got it with Wentworth, because all they cared about was that idol. They didn't even care if they won the challenge. All they cared about was the idol. And that's the little moments and challenges I wish we got more of, so that we could catch the little things going on.
Yeah.
It's like Troyzan's untying the knots, and Probst is like, Troyzan's taking an extra long time untying the knots. And Troyzan's going, yeah, because we're trying to figure out where that idol is.
Right rear corner? Right rear corner. I was waiting for Troyzan to circle around the table to see if he was going to try to. Yeah. Troyzan's going to the far side.
Yeah, here.
And then Sierra Dawn, the lasso queen, has got hers done in like 3 seconds in the reverse.
Well, she wasn't preoccupied.
No.
So, one thing all in all, this hidden idol in the challenge was not as suspenseful and exhilarating and exciting as Kelly Wentworth's. And that's not just because we're big Kelly Wentworth fans. It's true. And they kept kind of showing Troyzan kind of build up suspense, But in the end, Troyzan was kind of, he was back there going, oh man, during like before it was even over, kind of preparing himself. And as soon as it's over, it's like, oh man. Do
that again. That was funny.
That was great.
Man. I was waiting for Ozzy to look at him and go, dude, all you did was untie knots. Why are you so out of breath?
It's like, oh my gosh, I got to lean over this table. Oh my gosh.
Now
and then he's like going like this, right? He's going like this. So, whoops. Anyway.
Yeah, he was reaching under for some reason. I'm like, dude, right in front of you. Just look.
And then he starts praying, oh God, as I look under, please help me find the art. Praying.
I saw Andrea looking at him, and I thought I was like, oh man, she's going to wonder what in the world he's doing. But she didn't seem to, if you're not thinking about it, you don't notice really.
Right. Yeah. If you don't suspect it, you don't see it. It's kind of like The Sixth Sense. Right? It's like the movie The Sixth Sense. You watch the entire movie and you don't get any of the hints.
No, nothing.
And then the second time you watch it, you're like,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
In fact, just a little side note, the guys that were directing and doing all the stuff for The Sixth Sense had a really difficult time because they kept thinking, well, this is too obvious. But it was because they knew it.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't really obvious. Anyway.
Huh.
I just watched that movie the other day again. So obviously we take body comfort over spices. That's my thought.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, there have been times whenever I would say no to body comfort because the other thing was like ribeye steaks and stuff like that. And you've been in the game for 20 days. But this was comfort all the time or spices on your corn that you dug out of the ground. No, I want the pillow.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would too, but the spices are nice. I will tell you that because we won them and they were great. Yeah. But if I got to pick, I would pick comfort.
Y'all get so hungry. It's like garlic salt. I'll just eat the garlic salt. I'm so hungry.
Did you guys think it was odd that they got a tarp and got to pick another reward? It was like a tarp.
It seemed like a lot.
Their comfort or spices. It seemed like a double reward. I didn't.
Well, if it was only pick one, give the other away, then first and second place wouldn't be that important.
Right.
I mean, you're getting one or the other.
Yeah.
But I guess that was the double reward. They got a tarp and immunity, and they got. You're right. That was huge. And it went to the place that had, I don't know, the balls in the trees, the trained chickens, and goats all over the place. So they've got even more.
Yeah.
You know, Vader Girl in our group, you know, Miriam, she has a feedback for us tonight. If she was out there playing and they offered her a new car or kale, she'd take the kale.
No, she wouldn't.
No doubt.
Well, she certainly would have taken the kale over the tarp or over the comfort.
What? No.
She loves kale. Am I right?
You're not going to take kale over a tarp.
She said I would take spices. That's what she said.
Over a tarp? No, she's not.
She said I'd take the kale. She just put it in the chat room. I'd take the kale.
You're joking.
I know Vader Girl.
And the black cats.
And the black cats. Every time she leaves a feedback, it's like, enjoy your kale and love on black cats and stuff like that.
Oh, I have a black cat. She should like me then.
Yeah. All right. Let's go. Mana, day 9. The scheming begins. And my thought was the question of the day is, who will talk to Ty last? That's what everybody's doing.
Ding, ding.
Good point. That's a good point.
So Haley is figuring out how to get the focus off of Caleb instead of her. And you know what? There's some brains behind that pretty face. I think so.
There's something I forgot to bring up from the first time we saw the Mana Camp, because it's not in my notes here, but I know I wrote it down. And it was really telling, thanks to Ty, the giver of information, and that he told Caleb that I've already talked to Brad about keeping you over Haley, but I haven't talked to Sierra yet. And that's like, so now we know who are the heads of the alliance, and that it's Brad and Sierra. I mean, that's kind of telling that he has to talk to certain people to get Caleb into the group, especially for Sierra, because we haven't gotten a lot from Sierra yet, but we did get one this time around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially here in this part, because I got Deb and Sierra talk to Ty, and Sierra and Haley talk about having no connection from worlds apart. Not like Ty and Caleb. Of course, they do have matching tattoos.
Yeah.
Interviews, but otherwise they don't have any connections. But I love Debbie's line where she says, past relationships matter, and you're a fool to discount them.
And yet she's in one.
Yes, exactly. You're part of one.
Yeah. Yeah. She's like, I'm actually a professional name, a name historical person or something. She's a professional something that has to do with names.
I liked her. This is a dictatorship, and we will, whatever she said, negotiate or whatever she said. I loved it.
Is that?
Oh yeah, right.
Is that when she said? That was right. Is that when she apologized to Haley and to Caleb? Like, I know y'all have already been to tribals, and we're gonna vote one of you out. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, man, you guys have been to every tribal. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Right after the challenge, she got the post-challenge confessional. She said it's a dictatorship. It's all about the numbers, and Caleb or Haley has to go. And my thought was right then, if Debbie goes, just don't do any more post-challenge confessionals. Just let them go back to because you're giving away too much stuff. Because Sierra went after hers, but
Malcolm didn't go
great.
after his. So
I love Debbie. She's so funny.
Yeah, it's like. Debbie's like, I'm sorry that y'all have gone to all the tribals, but there is good news. It'll be the last one for one of you. Good
one. Yeah, this is going to be the last one that one of you has to go to. But
one of you won't have to go through it anymore.
Okay, that's funny. I was just thinking the same thing. Now, who else got the worst feelings in the world when they watched Brad talk to Ty as he took a sand bath? Have you ever taken Sunday, did you ever take a sand bath while you were out there?
Okay. We use sand in the ocean. We didn't come out of the ocean and stay covered in sand.
Oh, my goodness.
No, we totally did that, Dwaine. We washed our face with it in the water.
Yeah. And then he opens his eyes.
Out covered. Oh, my gosh.
Open his eyes. Oh, gosh.
Sunday,
I can deal with a lot of pain, but eye pain is something else.
I don't know. I know. It was hard to watch. It was really hard to watch.
Hey, Brad, I'm not sure about voting Caleb off. And then Brad's like, stop rubbing down there.
Put your shorts back on.
Yeah.
Oh my
Stop
God.
leaning over.
I'm starting to feel uncomfortable. I'm just going to go the other way.
Yeah. Brad's like, no, I don't need to be washed with sand.
No, what Brad said was WWMD.
Monica would get out of that.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that is one of the parts that I really liked. This is one of the parts where we got to see a side of Brad that we didn't know was there. You know, he has the correct logic. I want Caleb gone, but I want it to be Ty's idea, which is really hard to do, considering one of the reasons why you want Caleb gone is because of Ty. And yet he did it. Not only did he get him to make that decision, but he got him to make that decision whenever Ty was the reason why he wanted him gone. I just, way to go, Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That was great in the sense that it kept, because Ty felt Brad was looking out for Ty's best interest.
yeah.
And at the same time, like you just said, Brad wanted Ty to actually feel like he was making the decision.
Right.
Ty was making it, and Brad was only looking out for him. And that was a great point. When you guys get to the merge together, you're going to be a double target.
Yeah.
Take you guys out. It's like two people working together all the time. So this is for you, Ty. And that was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, y'all are going to be a double target, and they're going to get one of you out and then the other. So let us get Caleb out, and then you.
Take you out. That's right. Because you wanted
Why
to
not
throw
do
in
it now?
Debbie over Caleb.
Yes.
Now, I want to bring up something at this point. Future guest Andy Baker, I was talking to him today, and he thinks that Brad made a mistake. As he could have gotten rid of Caleb later, but what he thinks Brad may have done was open the door for a female alliance, with Haley not being a physical threat, but being a social threat with Debbie. And even Caleb says in his interview about girl power, because he never had one conversation with Debbie when he got to that camp. We just talked about talking to everybody, because I know when Sunday got to Icabula, she talked to everybody, tried to find who she could build relationships with. And Caleb and Debbie didn't have one conversation, and he blamed it on girl power. So Andy had a good thought that maybe Brad jumped too soon, and maybe it opened the door for a girl alliance, and they could easily take out Brad as an alpha male and keep Ty and say, Ty, it's best for you if you don't go with Brad, because everybody knows you're close, and Ty will go along with it. So I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too early to take
at this point. That's risky at this point, especially if you're going to be down then no big guys to help you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know.
It also depends on Sierra and Haley actually having a conversation.
Yes.
Right. And it also depends on Debbie being a woman or a girl.
It's in her resume. It's on her resume.
I played a man once. I'm actually a professional male, but you just don't know it.
So, Sunday, who is one person that you never really had a conversation with on last season? Who's like somebody in general that you just didn't really get to talk to or hang out with?
Or you started off talking to and then you stopped?
Do you know what? To be 100% honest, not a single person. The only people I didn't get to have a relationship with are the people I didn't get to meet because I wasn't with them, like Mari
or
and
Figgy.
Yeah. But the people that I actually played the game with, I made it a point to have a relationship and talk to every single person. That was part of my strategy.
All right. So if you went back and you and Mari were on different tribes, but after a swap, you got put on the same tribe, would you feel like you could go to her and say, hey, girl, we're old castmates together. We should hook up silently or privately, whatever. We should form
yes. I would play that card in a minute.
This
Any
is like what Dwaine was just saying. Yeah. About Sierra and Haley.
Yes.
That Worlds Apart alliance.
Yes. I don't understand that at all unless they're just doing that for, kind of a smoke and mirrors kind of a thing. Cause you have to use anything you can. So any person I met, I had to find what's the common ground. What can we talk about together? You do this? Oh, then I'm going to talk about that because that's what you like.
Yeah.
Right? Because people like to talk about what they like.
That's right.
So do you think there's more between Sierra and Haley than what we're seeing?
I don't know. There has got to be.
Yeah.
I don't know why you
agree.
wouldn't make use of that relationship. And if like
agree.
you said, Caleb mentioning girl power, there's a reason he thought that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they supposedly don't have a relationship, but they were on the jury together, right? Haley was on the jury, so they spent time at Ponderosa. So they still had time together, whether they talked a lot or not. But like you said, still, even with Mari or Thiggy, you've got that one connection that you two have in loyalty together. You're sitting on the same stage at the end of the season. So yes, I could see where Sierra and Haley would have some sort of connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you were to play again, and Jessica Lewis was on your tribe, what?
When?
When?
Yes. When you play again, when you and Jessica Lewis play again, and you're on the same tribe, you are going to be like best mates.
Yeah. If we can, we certainly would be. Yes.
All right, good. Because we like Jessica and we like you.
Yeah, for sure. I would definitely try and pull that together.
All right. So you like black jelly beans? I'm seeing that on the chat.
Oh, yes. Am I talking about the black jelly beans?
Yeah. Well, this morning, you and me and David were talking, and you went, I got to go eat breakfast. A bowl of black jelly beans.
Well, what I said was I resisted the temptation to eat black jelly beans for breakfast because they were sitting right next to my coffee.
But Sunday, everybody in the world except for you, when they get a bag of jelly beans, throw away the black ones.
No, they don't.
Because they are disgusting. It's
Let me ask you this question. When you go to Target, can you buy a bag of red jelly beans? No. Can you buy a bag of green jelly beans? No. Can you buy a bag of yellow jelly beans? Nope. But you can buy a bag of black jelly beans.
Because they pick them up off the floor in the room when no one eats them.
They repackage them and resell them.
Because people buy them. Or they
it's like hot dogs. Black jelly beans are the hot dogs of the jelly bean world. Wow.
Have you ever seen?
What's wrong with hot dogs?
Well, hot dogs, they just basically scrape the floor of the meat processor and stick it in a tube and call it a hot dog.
That's disgusting.
So when Terry and I were dating, she worked at Waltney, and I got a free tour of the hot dog plant. And it was great until I got to the vat of stuff before they make them into hot
I don't
dogs.
want to hear this.
And I told Terry, I never want to see this again.
Yeah.
Because I love hot dogs, but I never want to see anything like that again.
Yeah. There's some things you don't want to watch.
No.
All right. So, wow. Where am I at? Debbie apologizing. Sierra gets some airtime. Yeah. Oh, well. Oh, we already. Oh, wow. We're at tribal council. Damn.
Yeah.
Kim Dashenzo says there's 1% black jelly beans per bag. I wonder where that. Hey, Sunday would know. Sunday.
Yeah.
How many? What is the percentage of black jelly beans in an average size bag?
I think 1%.
Yes. Why can't you hear my sound effect module went out?
Uh-oh. Shoot.
What the heck? Okay, y'all talk about tribal.
Okay, so tribal. Caleb starts out saying that I had, which included Ty being at his wedding, which was pointed out in his exit interview versus on the show. That their friendship isn't really something that anybody needs to look into. Look the other way. Don't look this way. Just look the other way. Yeah, we're buddies, but don't look this way.
Yeah.
That was
y'all got to talk more than that.
Yes, sorry. Oh, okay. I thought it was interesting how earlier you were talking about Jeff, interjecting thoughts and making people think things. And at Tribal last night, how he was like, "Oh, look at Haley. She completely turned that around on Caleb."
Exactly. And she asked Culpepper, and he said, "Yeah, she's a budding lawyer. She's doing a good job." Let us point that out. But you're right. That's another moment where. Okay, so did y'all catch that? Haley just turned that around and made Caleb look bad.
Yeah.
A liar, made him look like a real threat. So did y'all catch that? I want to make sure y'all caught that because I did.
Yes.
I would love to see Probst turn around to the camera. Haley just said something that made Caleb look bad. I don't know if anybody else caught it, but I caught it, and I hope you did too. Let's go back to tribal.
It could be Jeff confessionals. That's what it could be.
Oh my gosh.
He would love to give confessionals.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
What the heck is going on in the chat room? They're talking about people making out and stuff.
They're talking about Ty's kiss at the swap, or Caleb's letting him kiss him on the cheek, kind of buried him. It kind of reignited the fact that those two guys are close and they probably help each other. And that was Pro kind of egging that on.
That wasn't making out when I was a kid. No. All right, let's see if I fixed it. Well,
there we go.
You want to know what it was?
What?
I had the volume turned down.
That's kind of like when Dwaine is saying, David, I can't hear you for 15 minutes, and he's got me muted. That's happened too.
That has happened. Or I have my monitors in and I don't have them plugged into the soundboard. That has happened as well. And David loves it when that happens.
I do. Completely. To me, this was probably the most boring part of the show, was the travel, because it didn't sound like Caleb got a chance to defend himself. It sounded like it was a done deal. Even when Ty paused in the voting, it was like, he's pausing because he's going to write down Caleb. He doesn't want to, but he's going to write down. So good job on Culpepper. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All for dramatic effect. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's pausing because the producer said, "Can you pause for a second?" Okay, good.
We want to know how difficult.
They didn't.
Yes, they did Sunday.
No, they did not.
They were in there telling y'all what to do.
No, they were not.
Well, you're not Ty.
Well, okay, but
that's why when you went to vote, they said, "Do you have to write Michaela?"
Yeah. They were like, Sunday. Sunday, this is God.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And I would say, where were you when I was looking for the idol? That's what
Sunday.
I would have said.
Right. Here it is. Sunday.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't vote for Michaela.
What does that say about me then?
That you don't listen to God, apparently.
Yeah, I guess. Jeez.
All right.
Let's go the next time on, unless y'all want to talk about the votes, which are useless.
Well, it is time to vote, and Caleb goes home.
Yep.
Yeah. Next time on, oh my goodness, JT better just step back. He's going for Sandra. What is he thinking?
I think he senses that the rest of the group is getting tired of doing what Sandra says.
Well,
and why not? If you're going to go after somebody, why not?
Maybe that's the case, but you know what? Man, it seems like she could even get out of that one.
And I hope, I agree. But I think, I hope they didn't spoil anything by saying tonight will be interesting, because we know that 2 tribes go to tribal next week.
That's true.
So is he telling us that means Mana's going back to tribal? So
well, maybe, but see that's one of those things that could go either way.
It could,
but
I'm gonna take it one step further. Sorry, I'm gonna take it one step further and speculate. This is where Andy's thought is going to come through. Andy Baker's thought that Ty has been approached by the 3 women, and that they want to take out Culpepper before they get to the merge. Okay, there's my tinfoil hat right there for you.
At this point, Ty could be. There is no telling who Ty could vote. He would vote out his own mom. I mean, it's just like. It's the last person that talked to him wanted his mom voted out. His mom would be voted out.
So Ty's saying tonight could be interesting because I think they want to vote out me, and I kind of agree with them.
Yeah. It's like, Ty, what is good for your game? Being here or being able to go on a vacation?
With Caleb.
With Caleb.
I like Andy's thought, but I like Dwayne's better. You don't know what Ty's talking about when he's referring to it.
I don't remember JT saying that. So JT's but seriously, that could go either way. They could have won, and then he says that, and then, or it could have been right after Jeff said it. One of y'all, both 2 tribes are going to tribal council tonight, and JT goes, "Well, tonight's going to be interesting."
Yeah, so, who knows?
Yeah. I don't think that's one of those CBS interns made a mistake thing. I don't, but all right. So here's the question. Here is the question I'm about to ask. Do you think, and I hope this is the case, that both tribes are there for both tribal councils and watch?
No.
They've done it before.
That's a lot of people.
They've done it before.
Wins the reward of eating in front of both of them. Because you can't disclude the winning tribe if the other two get to watch each other.
Well, then let them be there too.
I'm like,
what fun it would be.
That would be if the winning tribe gets to watch both tribal councils.
That would be awesome.
You can choose food, or you can choose. Okay, would you choose food Sunday, or would you choose to watch both other tribes go to tribal council?
Tribal council.
Yeah.
And you don't, right, because the food would be away from tribal, or you can sit in on two tribals.
Well, plus the food's only 10 minutes, and tribal's 3 hours. So
the food is 3 hours, because 3 hours later you're still dealing with the food. But anyway,
yeah, well, that is true. No. All right, so right after the challenge, you got your first place winner, and then the other two are going to tribal. But then Jeff goes, "But there's a twist. All three of you are going to tribal." And the winners go, "What?" He goes, "Y'all get to watch." That's right. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
I haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It's a lot of people, though.
Yeah. I didn't really get anything else out of it, though, the next time on, other than both tribes go to tribal and JT goes after Sandra.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well, look at that. We got to the episode in 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Is that how long it's been? Wow.
I know. See, when you're having this much fun, you don't even notice.
So much fun. Yeah, I didn't even notice.
That's right. All right. Well, it's time for listener feedback. And so David made us this really nice listener feedback document. And there it is.
That document?
I don't know. David, did you share that document with her?
I did earlier, but let me share it again since it's updated.
Okay.
I will share it.
By the way, while we were podcasting, and David said, I looked down and David wrote, "We have 3 written and 2 audio." And I went, "Uh-oh, I only have 1." So while we were podcasting, I went to Will Dennison's email, clicked his audio file, put it in Audacity, edited it, and put it in the Boss Chalk on my iPad. Thank you very much.
Wow.
That's going to get me an award. Yes.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes production award.
You need to go in your diary. No, I'm not.
Yeah. All right. Looks like I got the first one. Oh, thanks, David. Why do I always have to be first? All right. I never say his name right. Emili?
Yeah.
Emili from Finland. Hi, it's me, Emili from Finland. Remember me? That sounds like an old Eminem song. Anyway, I have really liked this season, and I think it will get much better. Boy, the preview for this got me so good. I totally thought JT was going home. Wait, what's wrong with my thing? I can't see it. Hold on. Fit. There we go. I really love Troyzan in this episode. It really shows how much he wants it. Awesome to have him back. If his tribe goes to tribal, I think the person going home is Ozzy, due to him getting lots of airtime. Troy will probably work with Zeke and Sari to get him out. I'm also really afraid for Varner. He is getting a lot of confessionals, but I hope that it's due to him getting far in the game. I'm really happy with their tribe, that their tribe didn't kill the goat. It would have been too dark. I really love how Brad is playing, and I also thought he would do really well before the season started. Jeremy Collins 2.0. I really loved how he worked Ty, but with that said, Ty is really easy to manipulate. That is right. Also, I bet my playing cards that others want Caleb gone too, and they just wanted to give credit to Brad. What do you think about that? Everybody wanted Caleb gone. They just wanted Brad to get the credit? I don't think. Speculation. All right, let's move on. I have been disappointed with Haley. Really? There hasn't been anything to be disappointed about. She hasn't done anything.
In fact, she saved herself, kind of. She made herself look better.
Yeah. I mean, like that's all we got out of Haley. So,
weren't you listening to Probst? He said that she just turned it on Caleb.
Yes. I apologize. I'm sorry. First time he got pulled from the game, and this time he just got voted out. So early. Okay. Predictions. Ozzy and Sandra will go home just cause reasons. Huh. See you guys. Oh, wait. Hear you guys later. Even if I'm not active, I'm still listening. Your buddy from Finland, Nakalim. Look at him throwing that Finnish word at me. Nakalim. All right, David. Hey, Sunday, do you have the document?
Oh, yes.
Do you want to read one, or do you want us to do it all?
No, I'll read one.
Oh, cool.
Tell me which one you want me to read.
You can read my next one.
That I didn't edit. So if you want to go ahead and read over it now before you get to it, go ahead.
Well, that'll be good because there's 3 written, and so you read the third one. All right, go ahead, David.
All right, this was from Steve from New York, also known as Steve the graphic artist, who puts up a lot of great art on our Facebook group.
Yes, we do like Steve a lot.
Hey, D&D, drop your buffs at the beach, baby. You guys know how I feel about 3 tribes. I'm not happy, but hey, it is Survivor. Really, I like the 3 tribe thing. I just like that they mix them up.
It's more work for him in Adobe to have 3 tribes. So
it's also less tribal coverage, but I get your point. Yes, more artwork. Then the 3rd tribe goes off to the new camp with nothing. The other tribes have food, but the 3rd tribe needs to start out from scratch.
That's a question.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yes, they got the rice and a machete. I don't know. It doesn't seem right. It's Survivor. It's that 5% luck. Remember, it's 70% social, 25 physical, 5% luck.
Yeah,
it's that 5% luck that got our friend Sunday. Man, gosh,
she had the 70%.
She had all the rest of it, and then that luck hit her. Boom.
All right, great idea with JT getting everyone on the water, then swimming back looking for an idol.
Yes, it was.
That was awesome.
But now he is a target. So was it a good idea? Actually, he was already a target, I think. So I don't think he had anything to lose.
Yeah.
I don't understand. They were complaining on the water about JT, but they didn't come back to the island. It's kind of like with the Tavua tribe saying we need to watch Troyzan, but they all stand there and look at each other. They're sitting on the raft once we need to get back, but nobody's jumping in, pushing them back to the shore.
It's like, what do you think JT's doing? Man, he's probably finding idols. Do y'all want to go scuba diving? Yeah. Let's do some more snorkeling. All right, David, go ahead.
Happy to see the goats were saved. I mean, they have food with the chickens and rice. I think Sandra was the only one who wanted to eat the goats.
Yep.
Come on, Sandra. They even had a tribal council with goats. LOL. Troyzan finds the clue to the idol and grabs the idol at the challenge. I must say that is a big idol. It's true. We didn't get to see the unveiling of the idol. I guess because they didn't go at the camp for them.
I know what happened. By the way, I meant to talk about this. Mm-hmm. He had those pants were so baggy. If he missed the underwear and he walked off, he's going to be walking off. The idol's going to go poop on the ground. So he had to stick him in his underwear, or it would have fallen out.
Did you have to say poop on the ground?
I said ploop.
Ploop.
My connection. It sounded like
ploop.
But I was just thinking that those are really baggy pants.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
I mean, if you don't put it in your pocket and you put it in your pants, well, you better. Anyway, forget it.
Yes.
Gotcha. Let's see.
You're right.
Thank you.
How many times they wrapped it? Oh, is that what I forget in life? Is I don't tell you enough that you're right. I'm sorry.
That's right. Sunday knows.
Yeah.
Okay. How many times they wrapped it up? Good thing Troyzan has big pants to cover it up. Yes. It was funny with Ty covered himself with sand while talking to Brad. It was not funny. It was grating. Like when he opened his eyes, like you said, oh my gosh. I'm like, no.
He's like, oh, my eyes aren't clean. Brad, hold my eye open for me.
Oh gosh. At Tribal Council, Haley and Caleb fight it out at Tribal Council, and sorry to say, Caleb loses. To keep the tribe strong. Bad play. I don't know if we will see him on Survivor again. He seems to be a good person, but bad luck on Survivor. Yeah, day 9's a killer for him. Next week, both tribes go to Tribal Council after the challenges. That should be fun. I'm happy there is not 2 winners at every challenge. Okay, D&D, catch you on Facebook. Steve, the New York graphic artist.
Steve, New York graphic artist.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, I know what Federico is going to be talking about. He is going to clean up all the misconception and all of the me being totally wrong last episode about this twist with the no revote. So Sunday, would you rather me read it? I don't mind. It's kind of long.
Sure, go ahead.
All right. Federico from France. Oui, bonjour. Hi, guys. My name is Federico, and I currently live in the mountain. Every time I think of France, I think of Pepe Le Pew. Gosh.
Sorry, I was muted.
Man.
I laughed out loud.
I get no support. My name is Federico, and I currently live in the mountains of France. I am a huge Survivor fan and have seen all 501 episodes. I saw seasons 1 through 12 live. Wow, he was on the island. Sorry. Thank y'all for laughing at my stupid joke. I saw seasons 1 through 12 live before I moved away from the U.S., and since then have had to rely on iTunes and now CBS Online. Survivor is one of my guilty pleasures that I don't share with many friends, so I have come to really appreciate your amazing community. Yeah, we do like our community. Our Facebook group is really good. Thank you so much for your efforts. You will have a new patron soon. Oh, yeah.
Yay.
Yes.
Yeah, we're booting up the minimum on that to $50 a month. So.
Yeah. No, we're not. On to my feedback. I just finished listening to last week's podcast, and I humbly need to tell you you're a bunch of idiots. Oh, no, that's not what he said. Humbly think you are missing the point on the rule change at tribal council revotes. Federico, you are probably right. So here we go. Jeff, in the parade interview with Josh Wiggler, mentioned that they wanted to change the rule because he believed that with the old system, majority alliances could get a free view in the future as to whether a member of a majority alliance had an idol and whether they would play it by splitting the vote. Now there is much more risk in splitting the vote, as if you end up in a tie, you will likely go to rocks. He said that he believed nothing should be free in Survivor and that you should always have to take a chance. But if they go to a tie, don't they still have a chance to make it unanimous?
They just have to make it unanimous, yeah. But if you got one person on the other side, then you can block it, save the person. But then you'd have to, if that person has immunity, especially when you get to the merge part, if that person has immunity who's on the minority side, they can not go to the unanimous votes, force rocks, but they won't have to draw rocks. That's where it's going to come into effect.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. By the way, Jessica Lewis loves talking about drawing rocks. It's her favorite thing to talk about. Let's use an example. Tribe of 9 people, 6 versus 3. Old system. Oh, I'm glad he's doing this because this is how I learn. Old system. Majority group splits votes 3-3 on 2 of the 3 people. The other 3 people put their votes on one of the 6. The vote ends 3, 3, and 3. At the revote, 5 members of the majority put their vote on who they want to go home. If an idol is played, they choose the other person. The minority alliance has no move. New system. And that if that scenario would happen, you can't split the vote the same way. If you did 3-3-3, you would get to the discussion where, sure, 2 of the 3 minority people can't vote or decide, but what is the incentive of the other person to avoid a rock draw? There would be, I don't want to draw a rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I was the odd one out, I'd go with the majority because I don't want to draw a rock. He's not selling me on this. Oh, what happened? Where'd Sunday go? David, message Sunday. Find out where she went.
She drew a rock.
Ah, that's what it is. Jessica Lewis is going, finally, someone else. That's where you chuckle, David. Golly. All right. There would be no incentive to draw a rock. See, I don't agree with that because if I'm the one, I'm going to go with the other people.
Right.
She needs the link again. Just tell her it's up in the, it's further up. It's the same link that she used before. Let's see. So you don't even need to play an idol from the minority to see that the minority has many more moves than they used to have. So you have to avoid ties. So what do? You have to take a chance on the idol. You split 4-2, and the person with 4 votes plays an idol, then their 3 votes will win the day. It's great. It greatly complicates a tool that majority alliances could use to pick off minority alliances. Another possibility is that a member of a minority could also try to change their votes to try and force a tie as a blindside by voting for someone on their own alliance. I'm so lost. It has much less to do with the moments when two alliances are coming head to head and much more with the vote splits. Personally, I think it will make for better TV, but will make the game harder for the strong players. I guess we'll see. Thanks again, and keep up the amazing work. Now, hold on. I got to at least tell him that I'm totally lost has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with I can't wrap my head around why this is not the same thing. And I just can't. And I don't know why. So please help me.
What can work is if the three of us are in the minority and there's 6 other people. So at the last challenge, I won immunity at the challenge. So they're going to split their votes on YouTube as an idol. So they put 3 votes on Sunday, 3 votes on Dwaine. Us 3 put 3 votes on Fred. So now it's a tie between Fred, Sunday, and Dwaine. That we immediately have to go to a vote. Those 5 are saying, all right, we want Sunday. We want to vote out Sunday. She's the biggest threat. We want to vote out Sunday. I say, guess what? I'm not agreeing. So Sunday's safe, Fred's safe, and David's safe because I won immunity. Now you 4 are drawing rocks. Good luck. Or you 5 are drawing rocks. So us 3 just took over this tribal. Doesn't mean we're in a better position later on because they're still going to vote one of us out. But since we didn't play an idol to save one of us, they didn't flush it. There's nothing to flush. If I happen to win immunity, the 3 of us just knocked out one of them. So it can give a minority alliance a chance to survive, but it's really going to take a lot of work. I hate the fact that it takes away the social game of building a strong alliance. They just made this game too easy for having too many numbers. We're going to give the underdogs another shot. I understand throwing another wrench in the game, but if it really works out neat, it could be really kind of cool to work out that way and force the bigger group to actually lose one of their members.
You know what it's really going to do is it's going to make for long discussions around the fire trying to figure out the math of it all.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how it would work out. And people are just going to go, I'm so lost, and they're going to walk off.
Especially hungry people, starving people, tired people.
It's like, okay, well, what happens if we split the vote and this happens? Okay, what happens? And then you get lost because you have 25 scenarios.
Yes.
I would have hated to have been in that CBS production meeting when this was thought of.
We're gonna have a lot of old man Joes, and where he goes, just tell me who to vote for and don't change the vote.
Yeah.
So
okay.
You need a Michaela with some shells and rocks to lay it all out.
Exactly. I sure do like Michaela.
I do too.
And you know what y'all missed with Michaela is you didn't get to hear all of her amazing confessionals.
No.
Y'all didn't get to see that side of her. Oh man. No. Good stuff. All right, here we go. This is an audio from Will the Giant Ninja.
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja. Well, here we are, episode 2, and we swapped to 3 tribes. I want to talk about each tribe just for a little bit. I want to tell you someone who either impressed me or disappointed me in each new swapped tribe. Number 1, the What Would Monica tribe do? I was impressed with Brad Culpepper. Yeah, really, I was impressed with Brad Culpepper. Now, I'm not 100% sure that I agree with his decision to get rid of Caleb. It's a complicated question. Obviously, he was worried about a strong twosome within his tribe. He wanted to be everybody's connection point. He wanted to be connected to everybody and have nobody have independent connections outside of him. So I guess I get that. My personal feeling is you need to keep the tribe strong and avoid going to tribal council. And honestly, getting rid of Caleb might increase their chances of going back to tribal council. But what impressed me about what Brad did is he got exactly the result he wanted without forcing it. Yep. He did not tell anyone what to do. Yeah. He just talked with them. Yeah. He made a suggestion to Ty that was frankly absurd, that Ty's game is better without Caleb.
Yes.
No, follow Tony's game from Cagayan. Everybody's game is better when they have a lapdog that'll do whatever they'll tell them to do,
That's right.
like Ty had with Caleb. Nonetheless, Brad correctly spoke to Ty in the way that Ty needed to be spoken to,
Yep.
told him what he needed to hear, and got Ty to make the decision that Culpepper wanted. Kudos, Brad. You might be good at this game after all. Next, the Green Tribe, and I frankly have absolutely no recollection of what that tribe is called. So again, the Green Tribe. I was disappointed in Ozzy because he was Ozzy. He apparently has learned nothing his first and second and third times playing this game, getting voted out his second time playing, and getting voted out 3 times. He's been voted out 4 times, and he still doesn't understand this game. No, Ozzy, you do not need to show your tribe that you're a survivor, that you're an outdoorsman, that you're a survivalist. That's not what the game is about. And it's okay that you are a survivalist, and it's okay that you recognize that that is an asset to your tribe, especially when your tribe is starting over like the Green Tribe is. But the fact that you think that is your primary goal in this game tells me that you do not have what it takes to win this game. And I really did think this might be your time. I thought the expectations were so low for you that if you came in with any degree of strategic chops, you had a shot to go all the way. I don't see it, at least not anymore. And finally, the new Coup tribe. That's different than the old Coup tribe, right? The new, or is it new Coup? I don't remember. Anyway, the new Coup tribe. I was impressed with Malcolm. Similar to Brad Culpepper, Malcolm dealing with the goat. He didn't want to kill the mama goat. He didn't want to kill the baby goat, and I get it. I probably would have been with Sandra, frankly, or I don't know, maybe I would have been swayed by the fact that there were TV cameras there and not done that for fear of retribution publicly. But if there were no TV cameras there, I think I'd have been with Sandra. Guys, let's eat. We got to go. Let's cook the goat. But there were TV cameras there, and there were people who were sentimental, and Malcolm was with them. But he didn't want to be the bad guy. He definitely didn't want to get on Sandra's bad side. So he let the group make the decision and come to the decision that he wanted. Bravo, Malcolm. You are still my winner pick for this season. I know that's not really going out on a limb because I think you are about 99.6% of the internet's winner pick at this point. But nonetheless, great job so far. Keep it up. Love you, Malcolm. That's all I've got, D&D. I love you guys. I love your podcast. I thank you for what you do for us, for entertaining us each week. Later, peeps. Will at the Giant Ninja.
Thank you, Will. So this time I made notes because last time I totally blew it after his thing. I agree with him about Brad. Definitely got what he wanted. And
Yes.
convinced somebody to do something that was really terrible for him. I also agree with him about Ozzy. I don't think Ozzy's going to win this game. I don't really see that happening.
No, I don't either.
The only other thing was I hadn't really thought. I didn't get from the episode that Malcolm got the whole tribe to do what he wanted. I kind of got from the episode that nobody wanted to do it except for Sandra, and they all just kind of worked it until it worked. I didn't really see Malcolm as the mastermind behind that. Did I miss something? I mean, Will did.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, Malcolm's not my winner pick, and I don't think he's going to win this season, but I do like this Malcolm. He seems like he's not trying to lead. He's not trying to run things at camp because he came in really strong in Philippines. And like I said, I think it was preseason, when he played in Karamoan, it's like he just went all in. Like he was just going all for it, and he got pretty far. But this Malcolm just seems more mature. Seems kind of more not laid back, but he's sitting back, kind of like Varner's doing, sitting back, letting others stir up problems and cause, and he's listening more than he's trying to lead. But no, I didn't get the impression that he changed. I think he had the most confessionals about the goat. He really got a lot of storytelling about the goat confessionals.
Yeah.
But I didn't see where he necessarily led them not to kill the goat.
Right. Well, Vader Girl, who we've already spoken about once, and she's about to be the next feedback, says Ozzy is winning. She says, you didn't believe me about David Wright, and look how far he got. David didn't win, Vader Girl.
I was just saying David didn't win.
Oh, I know what she's talking about. He did win because he got to do our show intro.
That's just true.
Thank you.
That's true.
All right.
We know y'all talked about it on the island. Talked about that. Who's going to get to do their show intro?
Hey.
So.
Yes, we did.
Which one of us do you think they're going to let? Anyway.
Who's going to be the new Aubrey? Rocco giving the intro.
Right.
Wait, can I say something about Malcolm?
Oh, please do.
When you just said, he may be just sitting back and allowing, I don't think people realize that sometimes it's just as much effort and work to sit back when you are a type A leader personality. And it is strategic gameplay on people's parts. And it's sometimes just as hard as some of the other plays that you have to do. Making yourself hold back who you really are.
Right.
Is gameplay.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's strategy.
I think Culpepper's doing that as well. I mean, in his confessionals, he's probably letting it all loose. But when around Ty, he's trying to talk like Ty and think how Ty would react to something and talking that way. And then when he's with Sierra, because it sounds like those two are working together, they're making decisions together. And I think Malcolm's doing the same thing. When Malcolm was in Caramoan, he had the bro amigos underneath him who looked up to him like, dude, you're Malcolm. We want to play with you. Well, they didn't know him because they didn't see this season, but they want to play with this guy. He's coming back. He's cool. He's athletic. We want to play with this guy. So he had these guys follow him around. So he was kind of forced into the leadership position. He couldn't necessarily hold back. But yeah, this season it is extra effort. But then again, when Sandra's there, you definitely don't have to shine because she's shining out more than anybody with her leadership, so to speak. Yeah. So that's a good point. That is just as much effort sometimes to hold back than it is to be up front.
It really is.
See, I know that would be very difficult for me because generally when I'm in a room and there's 10 people there and no one's starting to lead, I'm right there. That's
me too. Right.
And so if I was sitting around the campfire, every ounce of me would want to be leading these people and helping them. But I would be like, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'll put myself out there. Yeah,
absolutely.
That was a good point you said about Ozzy earlier about would Ozzy just be okay to sit there and watch nothing get done? And I'm like that in some situations where where it's 8 guys together and something's got to get done and nobody's doing anything to do because it's not going to get done. But now in Survivor, I would hope that would be a different situation that I wouldn't start doing that. So.
Yeah.
My audio video media guy that works for me, he's the kind of guy that can't stand to see other people doing something and him not helping. Right.
Oh, wow.
Especially if they're doing it wrong. But I mean, still so
then he's helping.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, but seriously, if there's somebody doing something, he'll be the first one to get in his truck and go help. So we were talking. So my wife was telling me on Sunday about this train that ran into this big snowdrift or whatever, and they had to shovel it out with snow shovels, like by hand. I don't know if y'all heard that. And Daniel was in the same restaurant, and I told her, I said, Connie, if Daniel had been on that train, he would have gotten a shovel and helped him. So then I went over to Daniel and I said, Isn't that right? He goes, yeah, I would have been complaining the whole time, but yeah, I would have been. So I could just see him on Survivor, like sitting by the fire going, oh my gosh, no, I can't. I got to go help build the shelter. They're doing it all wrong. Yeah, I could so see him doing that.
He would be the anti-Shamar. That's what it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we get to Sunday's story, which I'm not the whole story, but just kind of highlights, because that'll take another 2 hours.
We still got one more feedback.
Oh yeah, really, Miriam's?
Yes.
Okay, she's always late.
She's here.
Why do you feel like you get special treatment, huh? Come on. All right, here we go. Miriam.
Hello, Dwaine Stroud and David Jones. This is Mir. I am also known as Vader Girl. Sorry to be calling in late again. I was just on the phone with iTunes for 45 minutes getting like $250 of charges removed for The Walking Dead No Man's Land. Woo! Be careful with those. But luckily they did it. Anyways, love the show. Love you guys. I loved Survivor last night. It's just, what a game. It just keeps getting, it doesn't stop. It's fabulous. I still think Ozzy is getting the winner's edit. I don't know. I'm feeling it for Ozzy. I mean, Malcolm's looking pretty good, but I don't know. I'm just seeing it for Ozzy. Sandra with the goat was hysterical, especially considering she's won twice with people next to her who some say were goats, I guess, but I don't know. It was interesting. But I'm glad she did not kill them. They were so cute. And I love Michaela Bradshaw. I got to say that she's just so beautiful. And I'm so glad she's back. She's just all long legs, beautiful and smart. And I hope she goes really far. I think she's great. And I love the cast. I'm upset about Tony. I was really upset about Caleb. Gizmo Cowboy. I followed him on Big Brother. I watched his music videos. He actually sings country, and he's really, really good. And, I just think he's a sweet guy. I know he's a service member, and I just, I'm Team Caleb, always will be. So I picked him for my fantasy team. I will always pick him for my fantasy team. I don't care. But I love him. I'm sad that he went, but I'm glad that he went out walking this time and not carried out on a stretcher, like he said in an exit interview. So anyways, thank you guys. May the force be with you. I having a question about being a Patreon. Patreon charges my account at a very awkward time of the month. It's always like at the end. So I asked you before about doing a one-time donation of like $15 or something or whatever. And you said there was a way to do that. I would like to do that. So I would just see if you could give us the option and other listeners the option so that we can keep supporting you guys and shopping the Amazon link and doing all the stuff that we do. Like I said, may the force be with you. Black cats and kill for life. And thanks a lot, guys. Sending you lots of love to you and your families. Bye-bye.
There it was. Black cats and kale for life. Awesome. Anybody that wants to support us can go to stwdd.com/support. And all three ways are there. You can shop Amazon, you can become a patron, or you can click the PayPal link and give us a one-time donation if you'd like. You can do any of those three. Now, Sunday, every time you yawn, it makes me yawn, and that makes David yawn.
You were yawning. David yawned a second
ago. And then we're like this yawning circle.
I was yawning, and I looked up and I said, gosh, I hope they don't see me yawn. And there's Dwaine yawning right at the same time.
Yeah. See, that's the problem with not having the overlays anymore, is it always shows all of us. We can't just go back and read a book while we're listening to Will's feedback. We can't do that anymore. We got to act like we're paying attention. All right,
I got this giant Diet Coke to try and keep me awake.
Oh, nice. Well, it's like past midnight where David is. Where are you at? Are you in Central Time Sunday?
Yeah, it's 11:15.
Right, so David, we're talking to David from the future or from the past.
I'm at tomorrow.
All right. So I told Vader Girl that we were going to give her a hard time about Ozzy getting a winner's edit. Is there any way to explain that? Sunday shaking her head no.
No chance, no way, no how. I can't explain it.
You are living in your Star Wars world, Miriam. That ain't happening.
No, I don't think
anyway,
so.
I don't really see that, but she says winner, chicken dinner. So she's going to get her last word in. What was the other thing she said? Caleb sings? What?
I didn't know that.
Really? See, that's the problem. Somebody like Caleb gets on Big Brother. He just goes, I'll put out a song and millions of people see it. I write songs and no one sees it. I got songs on iTunes. No one sees it. All right. I need to get me a big belt buckle and get on Big Brother.
Yeah. Should have got Caleb to sing on it with you.
Yeah, I'll get Caleb to sing on it with me.
There you go.
All right. That was did I miss anything else? No. That's it.
Good job.
Yeah. All right. So before we get to Sunday's story and also how well the Survivor players scored on your D&D Survivor Challenge teams, let's see if we have any new iTunes reviews.
You write them. We read them. iTunes reviews.
You know why Sunday's laughing, don't you, David?
Because she read the notes.
Yeah, she read the notes. We have 0 iTunes reviews. The last one we have is from Sunday, and we read it last week. So, nada.
That was nice to me, wasn't it?
Yes, you were. It was very nice of you. Now, if you just get 4 different accounts.
And that was before she knew she was coming on.
Right.
It's true. That is true.
That was before I wrote my book about her on Facebook.
Yes.
Well, you too can be a D&D hero. Do what Sunday did last week and leave your review on iTunes. We'll not only read it on the air, we'll talk about how awesome you are. Just saying, that's some good incentive. So get those iTunes reviews. All right, we do have a last segment, but before we get there, we want to thank you for being a part of the D&D family, for watching us, listening to us, sharing our podcast, and of course, renting billboards all over your cities and putting our logos on them. Thank you. It's really nice that you do that. Thank you. All right. We come to a great part of the show. I like it. After we do this, we're going to talk with Sunday about her story, which is really a neat story. We're just going to very briefly go over how many points each player got for the Survivor Challenge. Andrea Belke got where are the points? Oh, she got 6 total points. Where it is? Oh, she got 1 confessional, 1 immunity challenge, and she started the episode. Good for her. Aubrey Bracco, she got 5 points. I don't know why, so I'm going to go on. The way he does this is so confusing because the big blue thing looks like it should be above the names instead of at the bottom, so it always throws me off. Anyway.
We'll just read the name in the blue thing and then go across the blue thing.
Yeah. Michaela Bradshaw got 7 points. She got 1 confessional. Brad Culpepper got 11 points. He got 4 confessionals. Sierra Dawn got 9. No, she got 9 points. And that's just for all of her Twitter stuff. No, I'm just kidding. Sandra Diaz Dwaine got 9 points. Cerie Fields got 6. Hallie Ford got 5. Oh, my goodness. Malcolm got 20 points. He had 6 confessionals, and he said the title, apparently.
And won the challenge, too. Yeah.
Don't worry, Sunday. We're going to wake you up when this part's done. It'll be okay.
I'm awake. It's my eyeballs.
Sarah got 4, and that was just for saying, oh, wow, about Tony. That's pretty much all she did. Really? She got 2? No. See, that's what throws me off. All right. Ozzy got 8, and Caleb got 5. I think that's it. Nope, there's more. Wow. Troyzan got 20. Wow. How did Troyzan get 20?
Found an idol.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Finished second, yeah.
Oh, there it is. He also got 5 confessionals.
Yeah.
Zeke got 6. JT, otherwise known as TJ, got 21. 8 confessionals.
Mm-hmm.
Ty got 9. Jeff Varner got 11. And Debbie Warner got 7. So, well, we may never do that on our show again. That was about as boring as you could get. So we will not do that again. So, all right, y'all. If you're done with Survivor, fine, but you need to stay around because we're going to talk to Sunday about her really, really great, awesome, courageous, amazing story about her battle with cancer and how, Sunday, what really got to me was how you wrote about, the cancer was taken care of like about a year, right? That you got your clean bill of health. But then you talked about all the emotional baggage that was still with you. Mm-hmm. And one thing you said was that people don't realize how much emotional baggage is that there is. And so as soon as you're like declared health free, or healthy, not health free, that'd be bad. But as soon as you're declared cancer free, they're like, okay, well, it's all over for you. And you're like, no.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you go anyway, and then you go to that and on the day, 4 years later, you do that challenge. I just love what you say. You came out of the water and it's like all that stuff was gone. Mm-hmm. That was one of my favorite parts of the whole whole thing, but I don't want to steal all your thunder. So why don't you just tell us whatever you want to tell us about it, and we might ask you questions in the middle of it, and
okay,
kind of let you do your thing.
Okay. Well, I was sitting at home on a Friday night, and I was kind of itching right here, and I felt a lump, and I thought, that's weird. That's nothing, I'm sure, right? That's Friday night. I go to my doctor Monday, sends me to clinic Tuesday. Wednesday morning, I'm waiting for a phone call.
Wow.
And I'm sitting there, looking at the caller ID. A nurse calls, a sweet woman, older woman, I could tell. And she said, I got your test results. I'm so sorry to tell you, you have invasive ductal carcinoma. And I said, okay. And she said, okay, do you understand that means I'm telling you have breast cancer? And I was like, yep. She says, no, do you want to write it down? Are you sure? I'm telling you have breast cancer.
You're like, I know what breast cancer says.
Yeah. She's like, do you want to spell it? And I was like, no, I'm okay. Nope, I'm good. I'm sure she thought I was in denial.
Yeah.
But I get off the phone and all I can think is I can have cancer. I have kids.
Yeah.
I have kids. I can't have cancer. That's just all I could think of. And the thing of it is that my husband almost died a year earlier. He ended up having emergency open heart surgery in January, just the year before. So I felt like my kids had just recovered from that. Mm. To have to now sit them down and say, I've got, breast cancer. Besides that, I'd lost my dad and my father-in-law both to cancer. So for my kids, when someone got cancer, they died.
Yeah. Right.
That was their experience. So it was important for them to see that, yes, it was hard. I wasn't trying to hide it was hard, but I also didn't want them to come home from school every day and see me curled up in the corner,
right.
And we involved them in all the decisions and like, okay, if mom does chemo, that means you guys are going to have to do your laundry and all that. And they were amazing.
How old were the kids? How old were they?
They were 12, 14, 16, and 18.
Wow. Okay.
And I didn't want to tell them. At first I was like, we're just not going to tell them because I just couldn't fathom putting them through this again after what happened to my husband. And they're old enough to understand,
right?
What it means. So one of the hardest parts for me was telling them, and my oldest, that was 18, just put his, hands over his face and,
yeah.
It's just, when you're a parent, everything is about your kids.
Right.
So for me, it's like, I am not, I'm fighting. I'm going to do every single thing that the doctor suggests that would, even if it only brings my percentage of reoccurrence down by 3%, I'm doing it. Because I'm not going to put them through this again. And, but like you said, I get the paper says you're cancer free, but I didn't feel any different.
Right.
Right. And I would say to my nurse, like, I don't want to ever, like, we just talked about this. I have 4 kids. I didn't want to do laundry, cook, clean, and I have 4 kids. But it was like anxiety and kind of depression. And, thankfully, my oldest came to me. He's like, Mom, let's go for it. Let's apply for Survivor now that you got through this. And I applied the first time with him for blood versus water.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Yes. And I did get a call back, but it just didn't end up going anywhere. And then the following year I applied again. It's just like, hey, if I got through cancer, I can do this.
Right.
But leading up to that, and even to going to Fiji to play the game, I still had this stuff. And I had no idea that people dealt with this when they go through something. I'm imagining it's more than just cancer, but I didn't know.
Right.
And so then to get there, and we're trying to keep track of the days on a log. Well, they don't know. My tribe mates don't know. The reason I want to know the date is because I want to know when it's April 11th, because that's the day I got the call.
Right.
So we get there. It's April 11th. We're going to a challenge. They do a confessional with me beforehand. It was really emotional. And like, what would it mean to you to win? And I felt like it was going to be really powerful. And then we won, of course.
Yeah.
And it was like, how am I this lucky girl that had gone through this, and the exact day, here I am 4 years later participating in a challenge and winning it with my tribe on Survivor. That's only the Lord that did that for me.
Yeah.
He did that for me. It could have been any other day. It could have been a day we were sitting at our camp all day doing nothing.
Right.
But no, it was a day that we had a challenge and we won. And then I did a confessional after, which is one they released in the secret scene. But that night, no one knew what that win was going to mean to me except the producers. And so that night I did end up telling my tribe mates, just because I'm a way too open person to keep that to myself.
Yeah.
Because I had earlier, before the game, I had really thought, I'm probably not going to tell them, because I didn't want anyone, if I got to the end of the game, I didn't want anyone to accuse me of using that as a sympathy card.
Right.
But I'm just way too open. And I told them, and it was a moving moment for a couple of my tribe mates cried, even men. And it was, and so I didn't realize until I watched it on TV. Oh, wow, that's where the change was, because I knew when I left the game, like when I'm doing my Ponderosa video, I knew I was changed. But it wasn't until I watched it till I realized that was the moment going into the water.
When you went in, or because you said that in your, I don't remember if it was your blog or the thing that you sent me, that when you came up out of the water, it's like everything was gone.
Yep. It's like it fell off.
Yeah.
Almost like a baptism or something. But it was just like I just left it there, Yeah. And I think just going through that experience, I don't know, sometimes it just takes a big, something symbolic for you to.
Right.
Because you can't see it, right? You can't see, but I knew it. And I knew when I watched it, that was the moment that it happened. I came out of that water different.
Yeah. One thing I like about what you wrote is that, and you tied it all together at the end. I think this was on your blog. How one of the first things your husband said was everything's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. And then you called your mom and she said everything's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. And then so you kind of held on to that, everything is going to be okay. But then when everything was okay, you were like, all my family being with me, everybody supporting me and saying everything was going to be okay was all part of it. But the one who really made it okay was my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
And that was, neat. It's just neat.
And you know what? When all this came, when I got the diagnosis and I talked to the kids, I didn't say this to them, but it was like, you know what? Even if I were to die, which I'm not going to, but if I were, we're going to be together again. We're not without hope.
Right.
It's not the end of the story.
Right.
It'll be terrible. It would be terrible for you. It'd be terrible if I was gone, but it really is not the end of the story.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always that. There's always that hope that we have in our relationship.
Yeah. We are not those without hope.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, it's just an amazing story. And it's just neat how God used that story, how God is using that story in your life. Mm-hmm. And as you get to share it and you got to be on Survivor. And so that gave you even more of exposure for that. So it's just neat how God uses that. And, I have friends who lost, in fact, I have a guy most recently, a friend of mine who lost his wife like a month after they found out pretty much that she had cancer. Oh. And I was in the I was in the room with them whenever she passed away, and it was sad, and it was really sad. And so, in that situation, God's using that to help other people in other ways, So not everybody makes it through cancer, mm-hmm. But no matter if you make it through or not, God's going to use that as a witness for someone else, ultimately for his glory, ultimately.
That's what it all is, all of it. Yeah, and that's my message really, is that there's something positive you can find in every terrible, negative situation. There are positives.
Yeah.
And there's always something you can learn after the fact and going through it, and always something God can do with it.
Yeah. You know how you were saying that you weren't going to let the cancer kind of control your life, you know?
Yeah.
You weren't going to go home and get up in a ball and sleep on the couch all day, but that you were going to fight it and everything. My wife has multiple sclerosis, and I think she's had it for about 11 years, maybe something like that. But she's kind of she has that same approach. She's like, I don't want to be known as the person with MS. That's not who I am. You know, if God chooses to heal me of MS, great. If he doesn't, I'm still going to live my life and not be the one with MS.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So most people have no idea that my wife has MS. And now she's taking medicine, which helps her. But, you know, they don't see that her leg kills her all the time. They don't see that whenever she gets home from teaching 3-year-olds that she can't move off the couch because she's so lethargic and so gone of all her energy. They don't know that stuff.
Right.
Because, and even our kids were like, are you sure you have MS? You know, because, and just the whole attitude of, I'm not going to let it control my life.
Yes.
You know? And yet, while you do that, you still do things to take care of it. You know, you still allow God to use the doctors that he's given wisdom and discernment to be able to help you to be able to get taken care of.
Yes.
So anyway, I just thought
That's
that was
true.
I thought that was an interesting parallel about how you dealt with it, because we do love our kids, you know, and we don't want our kids to have to deal with that kind of stuff.
No, and I also feel like it's important for them to see, though, that that it was real, like in the sense that, okay, when you're going through something, you don't have to pretend nothing's wrong.
Right.
It's okay to cry. It's okay to say, you know, I'm upset, or this bothered me, or whatever, you know. So it's kind of that balancing thing between those two, that, you're going to fight, but you're going to have bad days. And, you know, people criticized me, a couple different people, for saying that the Lord got me through, because they would say, well, I think it was the doctors. Why are you thanking the Lord? It was the doctors. But what they don't understand is that I give full credit to the Lord for the wisdom the doctors had. And
that's right.
believe they're on the same team.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah. Even when they don't know they're on the same team.
Exactly. Exactly. They're trying to get you better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know. Well,
it's an inspiring story, and it just really hit me the other day, and so I spent 3 hours writing that thing when I should have been working.
Well, it's very nice, though. I loved it. It was very, very nice.
You just really inspired me, and so I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I think God's going to use you and what you went through to help other people, you know, that are struggling with things. Yep.
Yeah, that is the goal for sure.
Yeah. Well, it was absolutely wonderful having you on the show. Loved your insight.
Thank you. It was super fun to be here.
Well, thank you. It's always fun whenever we have people on that watch our show or that listen to it.
Yes.
Because sometimes I'll talk to some survivors and I'll go, well, now, you know how we do this? And they're like, yeah,
what?
No, maybe. Is this a trick question? But like with you, is like, okay, now you know we do initial thoughts. Yes, I have some ready.
Yes,
you know, it's like, okay.
Plus, I like it because you guys are like, you know, we're just two best friends sitting, you know, talking about the show we love, and that's what I like about this is we're just friends talking.
Right. Yeah. Yep. It's a lot of fun. We really love doing it, and I know Survivor Sunday is going to end, and I don't know what we're going to do after that because I bought a lot of equipment.
Oh, you'll find something else. You might just have to start preaching from your basement.
I don't know I don't know what we'll do. Man. Oh, well, anyway. So everybody, that's it for tonight. Thank you, Sunday, for being on the show. David.
Thank you.
David, I would like for you to share one final word of wisdom for the audience.
That would be eat less goat, eat more chicken.
There you go.
Funny. I was going to say don't eat goat.
Okay, everybody, enjoy your week. Sunday, tell them all goodbye.
Goodbye. Thanks for stopping by. You guys are awesome.
Bye, everybody.